Hello everyone and welcome to this video tutorial where I'm going to be walking you step by step how to create a hotel booking website. So if you're looking forward to create not just only hotel, maybe a vacation website, a resort, or maybe something similar to Airbnb. All right, so this video is going to be walking you through on how to get that done step by step. So this is going to be a comprehensive video. So even if you're a beginner when it comes to website design, everything I'm going to be sharing with you will guide you in creating a professional looking hotel website. All right, so to make it easier also, I'm going to be leaving a timestamp in the description of this video so that if there's any part of this video that you want to rewatch or that you miss, all right, you can easily access it, and every link to all the informations I'm going to be sharing with you in the course of this video. All right, so do make sure you watch the video to the end. Now what I want to do now is to show you what the hotel website that we are going to be creating, the hotel booking website we are going to be creating, what it actually looks like. All right, so before we do that, if you are new to this channel or you are yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead to subscribe to the channel and also click on that bell icon so that you can get notified for all the videos that I release. I share videos on major WordPress tutorial on how to create niche website that has to do with WordPress and every other thing related to web design. Okay, so now let's take a look at the hotel website we are going to be creating in this video. Right, so here we have one of the websites we are going to be making reference to. All right, so if you look at it from here, you can see this is the search box where they can use to search for availability of rooms or accommodation. All right, so you can see we have the menu, you can have your logo, you can have this image. Now the idea behind this video is not only to teach you how to create this kind of website, but like I mentioned, just any kind of website. All right, so you can see right here. All right, and this is the section that shows our room. Now you might not need to create this exact same design or layout, all right, but the knowledge you're going to be getting here will help you to create even something better. So you can see maybe this is the room name, all right, and then maybe some information about the room. This is talking about the size and the total number of occupants, all right, so you can see it here and like this. Okay, so if you also want to show some of the amenities, maybe there's a wellness, there's a spa in your hotel, maybe you have a fitness center or a gym or swimming pool, some of those amenities, you can indicate that here. All right, and you have this section here. We have like a contact us section where we have your phone number, and then here is a contact us form where people can reach out to you. All right, and this is the footer. All right, so you can see it's looking very simple and very clean and professional. So let's look at some of the pages. All right, so if you over here, you can see the different accommodation types that are available. All right, now you can rename it to best fit what you intend to do. All right, for example, this one is named Superior Deluxe Signature and then Luxury Suite. So if you should open them, for example, the Superior, this is how the page looks like. All right, so I'm going to be walking you through. So you can see the name here. This is the price right here and some basic features or amenities about this particular room. And then here you can have pictures that for that particular room or accommodation type. So right here is just showing you the availability, the days that are available, and here you can go ahead and pick a check-in date, a checkout date, and then you can put in the number of adults and children, and then you search for the availability. All right, so if you don't want to also use this option, maybe you want to use the option of guests. All right, I'm still going to walking you through all of this. Now, one thing about this video is that I'm going to be showing you the different possibility or different things that you can achieve. All right, even beyond what I'm showing you. All right, and this is a contact, and then we go to the footer. The same thing applies to these other pages. So even some of these pages were created using Elementor Page Builder. Just in case you don't know about it, I'm still going to be walking you through how you can modify all of this information to suit your kind of website. All right, so let's take a look at the About Us page. So you can see welcome to Hotelier Resort and Wellness Spa. So you can just update all of this information to be yours. I'm going to be working, and if you want to create something new, something unique or different, I'm still going to be walking you through that. All right, so this is that wellness page, so you can see it here. All right, and then you'll notice that it has a sticky header. All right, so you can see once I scroll down, the header still remains. If you want all of those features, yes, it is available to you. And then the contact us page is what it looks like. You can have a section that would show your location on the map. So if you have multiple locations, you can indicate it here. If you have one, you can just take out the other one. I'm still going to be walking you through that. Okay, so this is the restaurants page. So where you can give information about your restaurant, so you can see it here, maybe your opening date, your opening hours, then the price range. If you don't want to use price range, you can take it out. All right, and then you can have some images and the likes. All right, it's looking very easy, very simple and professional. All right, so another thing I want us to do is, let's say you want to book an accommodation or a room, so you can see, let's just run a test. So if I say maybe let me check in dates, so let's say maybe I want to check in on the 16th, then maybe I want to check out the maybe just a night. I can put in number of adults, let's say 3, and then one, the children as 1. All right, so like I said earlier, if you don't want this option of adult and children, you can also change it to guest. There are a whole lot of options available that you can choose from. So I click on search. So here is the search results page. You can see the website is it has multi-currency, so you can switch between different currency type, and you can see the way the available accommodation will show up in this list style. Okay, so there are different style that are available that you can choose from on how you want your search results to appear. Right, you can see based on the information that we put in, you can see for accommodation found from these dates that fits what we look for. You can see this superior room is showing up, every other thing is showing up. All right, so maybe I want to pick this now. So what this does means is that for this room type, this superior room, how many of such room do I want to book? Okay, you can see 10 is available. Do I just need just one? All right, so that's the meaning of this superior room. That means maybe you have 10 rooms for superior rooms. All right, so that's the meaning. So maybe you want to book for two rooms. All right, so that's the meaning of this, or 1 of 10 accommodations available. So I can just go ahead and book. All right, if I want to also book another one, I can just go ahead and book them together. So let's just stick with this, then I'll go ahead and click on confirm reservation, and it will take me to the page where we are going to check out. So you can see our booking confirmation is asking us, okay, for the one accommodation. Now we have to select how many adults we want that will stay in this first accommodation, how many children, let's say 1. Here we put in the guest name, so let me just put in some random text here. All right, so you can see there's choose additional service. So if you also want to add something like this, maybe you want to offer them breakfast, you want to do any additional service, and you want to include it in their bill so that they can select. You can see this, the option right here. So if there's a coupon code, the option is here. All right, and this is a breakdown of everything of the price right here. All right, and then if you want to have this note for them so that they can see it when during their booking, you can also add it. So this option here is to put in their information. So once someone is booking for an hotel or accommodation on the website, definitely you need to have their name, their email, their phone number, the country of residence, and if they want to drop a note. All right, so that's what this part is meant for. So I just put in some random details because we are still going to come back to this page once we are done creating our website. Now, in terms of payments, there are different payment method or payment gateway. If you want to do payment on arrival, you want to do bank transfer, PayPal to checkout, or any other payment gateway that you want to use, they are all available within this website. And if you also want people to be able to create an account, maybe you want a customer to be able to create an account for themselves, maybe because once they are booking, they can create an account. That feature is also available. I'm still going to show you that. So you can also make this to be a condition that, okay, I've read and accept the terms and condition. All right, and you can see this will take, once you click on it now, it will take us to our terms and condition page. So once the customer fill in all of this information, you can go ahead and click on the book now, and with that, they've already done their booking. All right, so there's also an option where you can choose how do you want to confirm their booking. Is it when they make payment immediately or when they arrive at your place? Okay, so for payments method, you can see there are different payment method that you can choose. So for this now, let's just say I want to do pay on arrival. All right, so let me just select that because we are just this is just like a test or a walkthrough. Then you can see there's an option for them to select that, oh, I've read the and accept the terms and condition. So now you can, if you also want them to be able to create an account when booking an hotel, or maybe they have an account, you want them to be able to log in. All right, so all of those options are available. We are not saying it here, but I'm still going to show you if you want to enable that option. All right, and there's still a whole lot of other things that you might want to add. All right, so once you are done, you can see there's the option to book now. Okay, so there's something we didn't select. Okay, country of residence. So let's say I want to put in, let me just use United States. Then I can come back and click on book now. So you can see now reservation received. Okay, so we are pleased to inform you that your reservation request has been received. Okay, so once this is done, you as this admin, like the owner of the website or the owner of the hotel, you are going to receive an email. The customer is also going to receive an email. All right, so if you need to customize the email also, I'm still going to walk you through towards the end of this video, and every other thing that you need to know. All right, so if all of these interest you, do make sure you watch the video to the end. All right, so with that, I'm super excited. I'm going to be walking you through how to go through all of this, how to get your hotel website done. And if also you have, like I said earlier, do make sure you watch the video to the end. And also do make sure you click on that subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe. All right. So now for us to get started with our website, any website you are creating, there are two basic things that you are going to need. Number one, you are going to need a domain name, all right? And domain name simply means your website name. Now, for example, if you want to access any website, see those words that you type into your browser. Maybe, for example, you want to access Facebook, you go to facebook.com. You want to access Twitter, you go to twitter.com, or maybe x.com, all right? So those words are what we refer to as your domain name. So that's the first thing you're going to need. The next thing you're going to need is your hosting. Now, if you take a look at this website now, the hotel website, you can see all these informations, all the images, all right, because definitely you are going to be uploading images of your hotels, of your rooms, of your environment. They are being stored somewhere that makes it easy for people to be able to access them over the internet, all right? So where all of these informations are being stored is what we refer to as hosting, all right? So that's just a basic and simple definition of what domain and hosting is. All right, so for you to get your domain and hosting, a platform comes highly recommendable, and you're going to be getting as high as 75% discounts plus a free domain. All right, so which is good enough to get you started. All right, so for you to get your domain and hosting, so just come over to this website, makeitprosperblog.com/hosting, and then you'll be taken to this page. All right, so depending on when you are accessing this page, all right, the look might be different, okay, because they usually update their home page from time to time. However, but if you can see here, launch your website today with its 5% off. All right, so they're always giving you, definitely be getting a discount. So for you to get started, you can just press the start now button, and it will take you where they have their pricing plan. Now, if you're on the website and you can't really see this option of start now or something, just scroll down. You're definitely going to see where they are going to list out their pricing. All right, so the reason why I'm saying this is that they usually change their own page from time to time. All right, so once you're on this page, this is where you're going to get your hosting, and like I said, you're going to be getting a free domain. All right, so you can see they currently have three packages. We have the premium, the unlimited, and the cloud startup. Again, once you are here, and if you see that the names have changed, okay, because again, these are some updates they usually do. They can change the name to something else. All right, but most time the one that comes highly recommendable is the one that is in the middle. All right, and let's check out some of the features. For example, this is one that I'll be recommending, the unlimited plan. Now, if you look at it, you can host unlimited website with it. You get free domain free for 1 year. Now, this unlimited website, maybe after creating this website, you might want to create some other website, so you don't need to get a to purchase a domain. I mean, an hosting again, rather. Okay, so you can still use the same hosting plan to host as many websites as possible, as long as you do not go beyond your storage limits. Okay, unlike here where you're going to be getting just 3 websites. Okay, and apart from that, you get more storage, all right, and then you get a list of all these features. So it comes highly recommendable for all kinds of websites. Either you're doing a business website, corporate website, e-commerce website, or just any website, you can still start on this plan. So if for any reason you need more space or you need more features or anything, then you can consider switching to the cloud startup. All right, you can just do an upgrade. Okay, so once you are here, just go ahead and click on choose plan. Next, you are going to be asked to select the period. Now, this period basically means how long do you want to purchase the hosting. Now, there is option of 48 months, 24 months, 12 months, and 1 month. All right. Now, remember I said you're going to be getting a free domain. You are going to be getting a free domain if you are picking either the 12 months, 24, or 48 months. Now, if you pick the 1 month plan, you're not going to be getting a free domain. And by the way, I would recommend you to go with 1 month, because 1 month is definitely too short for you to host the domain if you are thinking long term. All right, so the one I usually recommend is if you are thinking long term, okay, and you really want to go into this, consider getting the 48 months plan, because you're going to be getting more a higher discount on it. You can see you are going to be saving as high as $768 if you're picking the 48-month plan. But if you're on a budget, okay, because if you are picking the 48-month plan, this is what you're going to be paying, $153.52. All right, and you can see it here. You're going to be getting daily backup, 2 extra months, and domain name. All right, and if you are getting the maybe 12 months, for example, let's see what the price is. So you're going to be paying the $53, and if you are getting the 24 months, you're going to be paying 95. All right, so let's say you want to go for the 48 months plan. Once you select the period that you want to get your hosting, so next thing you want to do is to come over here and click on continue. Next, you'll be prompted to create an account. You can see the option here to register. So you can either register with your Google or with your GitHub, but then or you can just use your email. So you put in your email here and your password, and then you go ahead and click on register. Once that is done, the next thing is to put in your billing address. All right, so you put in your first name, last name, all of this detail, your phone number, your address, your city. So once you're done with that, you just press the continue, after which you'll be prompt to make payments. All right, so with respect to payments, there are different payment methods. You can see we have the option to pay with your card. You can pay with PayPal, Google Pay. I have the option of OPay right here, I think based on my country. Now you can also use crypto. You can see we have the option of CoinGate, Alipay, and all of these options. So they have a good payments platform, payment gateway here that you can make use of. I'm very sure you find at least one that will work for you. So once you are done with your payments, all right, whichever one you want to use, just go ahead and click on submit payments. All right. So once you are done with the process, you can see you'll be able to access your account, but then you need to also verify your email, because an email will be sent to you. Once you are done with all of those process, you'll be able to log in with your email and your password you selected while creating an account. All right. So once you're in your dashboard like this, you can see I'm currently on home. Okay. You might see some other information here, but just come over to website, click on website, and then you see the option all websites right here. Once it opens up, you see this option here, which is add website. So go ahead and add website. So if you also want to go ahead and create more websites on the same hosting plan, it's still the same process you are going to follow. So now I've clicked on add website. I'll come over here and click on the option of WordPress. So I select WordPress. The next you're going to be seeing this, I don't know if I should call it questionnaire or some survey. So you can just answer them randomly. Then here is the next one, create your login to your WordPress account. All right, so this way you're going to create your login details that you're going to be using to access your WordPress account. So this way you're going to put in your WordPress email and then your administrator password. Now you can use a different email, something different from what you use to create your hosting account. All right, so but when you're creating your password, you need to take note of all of this. Make sure it has one number, one symbol, one lowercase, one uppercase, 8 to 50 characters, and only Latin letters. All right. So once you put in all of these, and please take note of your password, it's very important. Take note of your administrator password, like you can see here. All right. So once you fill in all of this information, just go ahead and click on next. So next thing now is to choose the domain that we want to use. Okay, you can see what domain or subdomain would you like to use. And don't forget what I said, a domain is, that's simply the your web address. Okay, those words that you put into your browser to be able to access your website. Now, there are three options. You can see here, claim your free domain. The second one is buy a new domain. And the third one is confirm a domain you already own. All things being equal, if this is your first time, you are going to be claiming your free domain. Okay, so what you're going to do is just come here and put in the domain that you want to use. Let's say this is what I want to use now. All right, now once you put in the domain, if the domain name is available, that means if nobody else is using that name, you are going to see the option here. Once it appears here like this, you're going to see something that will show up like claim your free domain. All right, so you go ahead and click it, and then you'll be able to claim your free domain. Now the second option says buy a new one. All right, so maybe you are creating your second website, okay, and then you've already used your free domain. All right, you can just go ahead and purchase a new domain. So you can see here, maybe if I want to purchase this particular domain now, you can see the option here. I can just go ahead and click on it. Okay, that means you want to purchase your domain from them. Now the third option is to confirm a domain you already own, and which is what I'm going to be using. Now you can use any of the three method that applies to you. Okay, but I'm going to be using this domain gazegbt.com because I already have the domain. Okay, so once I put it in, and that's why you can see this option that you own this domain. So I'll just select it. All right, so you can see this domain is registered at another provider. You have to verify you own it when you connect to the site. All right, so this is what happens if you are using this option, this confirm a domain you already own. All right, so I own the domain. I'll still show you how to confirm it if it's this method you want to use. All right, so once you put in your domain name, so just go ahead and click on next. So we are currently installing our WordPress. You can see installing WordPress. This may take a few minutes. All right. So guys, if you are finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you are still yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and click on that subscribe button right now. So once you are done with WordPress installation, the next thing is going to ask, are you going to create your website with AI or pre-built website and theme? So we are not going to select any of this option. We'll just go ahead and click on go to WordPress. All right. So with this now, we are currently logged into our WordPress dashboard. So as you can see here, and this is what the screen is going to look like. You're going to see onboarding. All right, so another thing I also want you to take note is that once you have installed your WordPress, so let me show you that real quick. Now, if you check your browser right here, you might be seeing some random word that is different from your domain. So basically what is happening is that your domain name is here to be linked properly with your hosting. All right, it happens sometimes. So instead of before now, you might need to wait some hours before it's propagate for you to continue with your website. But what they do now is that they provide you with a temporary domain that you can use so that you can continue creating your website. So after some minutes, I mean some hours, preferably maybe 1 or 2 hours, you can just come back to your WordPress admin dashboard, right? And you'll be seeing your domain. And for you to access it, just go to your browser and type in your domain name /WPI admin. WP-admin rather. So you can see it right here. I have the domain name /WP-admin. So once you type this in your browser, it will bring you back to your dashboard, and then you're going to be seeing your domain. All right. So now that we are here, now let me walk you through some of the things that you are seeing on your screen. Okay. So right here we have some of these menu options which we are going to be taking a look one after the other. So the first thing I want you to do is to come over to plugins. You go to install plugins. Basically, there are some plugins that were installed for us by the host, but we're not going to be needing them, so I'll just go ahead and uninstall them so I can check everything except this light speed catch. Then you click on this block actions. You first of all deactivate, and then you click on apply. So you do the same thing. Now you can go ahead, accept this light speed catch, bulk action, delete, and then apply. Now you might be wondering what plugins are. Plugins are web app. I call them web app that add more functionalities to your website. Okay, they have they help you to add more features to your website. Now a typical example is your phone, the apps on your phone. You know, some of the apps, you have the camera app, the messaging app, you know, some of these games, you know, if you look at them, they are some of the things that add more features to your phone. All right, so the same thing happens to your website. So once we start installing some of these apps, these plugins, you are going to understand what function they are actually doing and why you need some of them. Also, if there is any plugin, including themes, that you are not using, please just delete them, because leaving them on your website means they are going to be taking more space on your host, and one way or the other, they also limit the speed of your website, okay? And they might also even cause conflict with some plugins on your website. So if you're not using them, just go ahead and delete them, all right? So now that we've deleted them, let's come back to our dashboard, all right? And this is what we are having. You can see, welcome to WordPress, all right? So let me walk you through these options here. This is the dashboard. I've just clicked on it here. And then here we have posts. So this is where you're going to click if you want to add posts to your website. Maybe you want to add a blog content. Once you click here, you can see you can view all the posts. And if you want to add posts, just come here. Let me open that in a new tab. And then you see the option to add posts, all right? So once it opens up like this is where you put in your title for your blog post. You can put in the body of the content of your blog post right here, all right? And to the right here, this is where you put in your featured image. So that's the image that is going to introduce your blog post, all right? This is where you're going to put it. If you want to add an excerpt, you can do that here. If you want to publish immediately, it sets to publish immediately. If you want to schedule it, just click on it and select the date you want it to be published. And if you want to add it to a particular category, you can just do so here, or you create a new category. And then let's see, those are basically the options under here. It's pretty much straightforward to create a blog post. All right, so let me just close this. Now away from blog, we have media. So this is where you're going to find all your media files like photos, images. This is where you're going to find PDF files that you're going to be uploading to your website. This is where you're going to find them, all right? And then another advice is avoid not to upload video, because videos takes a larger space. Okay, so what you can just do is upload them on other video platform, maybe like YouTube, and then you can embed it on any part of the website that you need it, all right? So we also have pages. We are still going to be looking at this more often. This is where you're going to see all your pages, maybe like your own page, your about us page, your contact page, and every other pages. You see it under here. This is comments. Once you start receiving comments or reviews, all right, so you're going to be seeing it under here, and then you're going to be seeing some notification showing you how many comments you already have on your website. All right, so next is appearance. This is where we have themes. Now, once we install the theme that I want to use, you're going to be seeing more options under appearance. Then this is plugin. I've just talked about it. Now this is for user. I think we are still going to come here. This is where you are going to set your own profile, and to add user, you can see the option to add users. We are still going to come back here. Then tools, under tools, we have some of these options. Then next thing we have settings, and then we have this light speed catch. All right, so let me talk about this light speed catch. I find it it's a caching plugin. It helps to increase speed, you know, on your website. One of the things I also find handy with this plugin is if I come to presets, for example, and maybe if I'm doing some changes on my website and then it's not really reflecting, or it's taking time to come up, you know, I can just come here and then apply this preset basically to clear some cache. You can do it from here, And you can also do that from your hosting, okay, if you need to clear cache, okay, and you can do that from your hosting. All right, I'll still show you that. So just click on apply preset and then go and refresh, and it should work fine. All right, so on the hosting part also, you can see we are currently on our domain name. You can see there's an option to clear cache here. So if you need to clear cache here, or maybe you're experiencing some error, which is rare anyway, but I just need to mention this. All right, so if you just once you come to your hosting, that's one advantage of this hosting. You'll be able to see it right here, okay? And you come to overview, it will tell you that there's an error, and it can also help you to fix it using AI and the likes. All right, so that's it on that. Now let's come back here. If I should come over to settings, so you can see we have a whole lot of options here, starting with the general. So this way, we are going to give our website site title. All right, so if you look over here, you can see the information here. This is just showing as LGBT. So I'm going to change it. So let's say the name of our hotel is called PA Hotels. All right, so let me just give it that name. All right, so you can see it will update right here. And don't worry, once we save also, all right, you're going to see it once we hover over here. All right, instead of seeing this activity.com WordPress, so it's the site's name that will appear here. So next thing is to put in your tagline. So just like they have it here, that in a few words explain what this site is about. All right, so I can say, so I just gave it this relaxation meets fun. All right, so next thing is to add your site icon. Now, once we talk about site icon, let me also show you. If you look at your browser tab, for example, on this Gmail now, you can see this M in form of envelope, you can see here H. So all of this icon that you are seeing here is what we refer to as the site icon. So if you want to put that, so just click here. All right, you'll be able to pick from your media library, or you can upload it. Although there's another place where we can do that, I'm still going to show you. So apart from that, every other thing here is okay. So come over to this membership and check this option, because we want to make it easy for people to be able to create an account on the website, okay? So they can create an account. All right, so for this default role, so just leave it as subscriber for now. The other roles, administrator is the highest role. All right, so just leave it as subscriber. Now, if you want to change your time zone, depending on your country of operation, maybe your date format and then your time format, you can do so from here. If you want to set when week starts on when, so you can do that. So anything you do here, just make sure you save. All right, so basically that's the only change that we might need. You might also need to check out this writing option, okay? So for writing, reading, discussion, we have media, permalinks. However, every other information here is okay the way they are, okay, apart from the general. So for example, the writing default post is set to, every other thing here, you don't really need to change anything here. They are okay the way they are. So with that, now let me come back to our dashboard. So I over here and click on dashboard. Now, the next thing we want to do is to install our theme. All right. So when we talk about our theme, for you to come to our theme first, let's come over here. You can see if you hover over appearance, you click on theme right here. All right. So by default, we always have this. This is just a new feature from Hostingjar. They've started including their own theme, but by default, you're going to be seeing the last 3 years theme from WordPress itself. Okay, so you can see here 2025, 2024, and 2023. All right, now before we update our theme, let me show you what our website currently looks like. So if I over here and let me open it in a new tab, okay, visit sites. All right, so you can see this is what our website currently looks like. Now, if I should change it to this 2025 theme, if I click on activate, so now it's activated, that's why it is coming first here. If I come back to the website and I refresh, all right, so you're going to see that it changes, the fonts change, the layout change, and everything. So you can say our theme is what's responsible for our site layout, the way it appears, the design, and a whole lot of other additional functionalities, okay, even apart from the plugin itself, okay. So, but for this website we want to create, we are going to be having a different plugin, you're going to be using a different theme rather. So I'll come over here to click on add themes. All right, so by default also you can see there are a lot of, as at the time of making this video, 8,047 themes, and these are free themes available that you can use, but this is not the theme we are going to be using. All right, so for you to get the theme that we are going to be using, so just come over to this website, akprosperblog.com/hotela, and you'll be directed to this page. All right, so this is a theme we are going to be using. All right, you can see it's an hotel booking WordPress theme, and it comes highly recommendable. You can see the reviews, 4.8 star rating, over 7,000 sales as at the time of making this video. and it comes with a whole lot of other features, which is what we are going to be exploring in the course of this video. So in terms of price, it's actually $59, was at the time of making this video, it's on sale for $41. All right, so you might be lucky during that time. So however, once you are here, just go ahead and click on add to cart. So once you add it to cart, you'll be able to, you can see, to purchase the theme. All right, so just go to checkout. So once you proceed to checkout, so once you click on checkout, so you'll be prompted to create an account. So you'll be prompted to create an account. So you can see you can create an account with either Google, Apple, Facebook, or with your email. So you're going to choose the email option. So just click on it. You put in your first name and just fill in all of this information, your email and your password, and then you'll be able to create an account. All right. So once that is done, the next thing is to just put in your billing details. All right. And then you select how you want to make payment. So with that, you'll be able to purchase this particular the theme that we're going to use, Hotelier theme. All right. So once you are done, all right, at the top of the page, you're going to see your username here. You're going to see something that looks like this. Once you hover over it, you see this option to download. All right, so once you click on this download, you're going to be directed to a page that looks like what you are seeing on the screen. And then right here, you'll find the theme. All right, so I have other themes that I've purchased from them. So this is it right here. All right, so just over this download, just click on it, and then you download this installable WordPress file only. So just click on it to download it, and then you also download the license certificate and purchase code. So you can either download the PDF form or the text form. All right, so once you have done that, so you come back to your WordPress site where we have themes. All right, so just go ahead and click on upload themes. All right, so you come here and choose files. All right, and then now you choose the theme that you've just downloaded. All right, so this is mine right here. So you can see it's Hotelier, hotel booking WordPress. So I just select it and I click on open, right, and I click on install now. So once that has been already installed, so you click on the option to activate the theme. So with this now, we've successfully installed the theme. Now the next thing for us now to do is to put in our purchase code. So you can see product registration, the purchase code, enter a purchase code. Now remember the file asks to download the PDF or either the text format. So I've downloaded mine. All right, so you just open it up. So you see item purchase code. So just copy it. All right, so just copy your purchase code. You come back here and then you paste it. All right, so once you're done with that, you go ahead and click on register. So with this now, we successfully registered our theme. You can see your product is registered. So once you install your theme, now that we've installed our theme, there are certain plugins that the theme is asking us to go ahead and install. That's why you are seeing all of this notification. You can see install required plugins. Before installing required plugins, you must have to register your purchase code, which is what we've just done. All right, so I can go ahead and dismiss this, and then just go ahead and dismiss this. All right, so if you look at it at the top here, it's letting us know that these plugins are required. All right, so just go ahead and click on begin installing plugins. Okay, so because you are using a premium theme, definitely they are going to recommend some plugins that we are going to install so that we can have all the necessary features that we need for our hotel website. Okay, so just go ahead and select them. So you can see it right here. We have this contact from 7 for our contact us page. We have this Elementor page builder. We can see we have hotel booking, hoteler theme element. You can see a lot of plugins here, and these plugins, they are not available for free. Okay, these are some of the additional features that we are going to get by purchasing that theme. All right, you know, that is why we needed that thing, because it's coming with a whole lot of features that will even cost us more if we decide to buy them or to purchase them individually. All right, so once you've checked everything like this, all right, so just go ahead and click on this bulk action and then select install. Okay, you can see we've selected all the plugin, and then we click on apply. So right now the plugins are being installed. So you can see 4 out of 21, 6 out of 21. So just allow everything to install. So guys, if you are finding value in this video, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. All right, and click on that bell icon so that you can get notified of any of our videos. So with this now, you can see all plugins installed and activated successfully. All right, so let's return to our dashboard. So all the plugins that they recommended for us, we've gone ahead to install them. And with that now, you see that we have more options right here. All right, so let me just dismiss this. You can see now we have Elementor option. We have this header, footer, mega menu, full screen menu. We have payment analytics. You can see we now have accommodations. All right, so these are some of the additional menu options that we are going to be working with to create our website. Okay, so now that we've done that, let me show you what our website currently looks like now that we have a new theme. All right, so while that is opening up, so now I want you to come back to where we install our themes. Hope you remember, under appearance. And remember I said once we install our theme, we are going to have more options under appearance. You can see now we have customized widgets, menu, background, and the likes. So but just come over to theme. What I want to do is I want to delete this other theme that we are not using. Okay, remember I mentioned it earlier that if there's any theme that you are not using or plugin, just uninstall and delete them. All right, so go ahead and do the same thing for these other three. So with this now, we already have this hotelier, okay, which is the theme that we are using. And don't forget, if you want to get the theme, the link is in the description, all right? So akprosperblog.com/hotelier, all right? So now let's see what our website, you can see this is what our website currently looks like, okay? So now let's take it from this to what I showed you earlier. All right, so coming back to our dashboard, from here, just come over to theme settings, all right? So directed to this page. So just come over to where we have import demo. So click on it. All right, so once you scroll down, you just click begin importing demo process. All right, so now you are going to be taken to a page that will show you a list of demos. All right, so what these demos are ready-made websites, okay, like the one I showed you earlier, that you can use to create your own website. All right, so you don't necessarily have to use exactly what they have, all right, but this will make it easy for you to create your hotel website. However, if you want to create yours from scratch also, you can also do so, all right, but then we are using a premium theme, and these are some of the advantages you get when you are using a premium theme. All right, so you can see we have them in different categories. We have the demos for hotels, we have the one for resorts, for apartments, and for hostels. All right, however, for this now we are going to be using, there's this one, this is the one I want to use. All right, so you can also explore all other demos that are available. So what you just need is to preview the demo. All right, but the process is pretty much similar if you want to work with any of them, but I'll be working with these, so I'll go ahead and click on import demo. On the next page, you're going to see all of these options are there. Just go ahead and click on continue and import. So you can see importing content, and so now the demo we imported, you can see import complete. Now you can go ahead and visit our site. All right, or you can come back to our theme settings. All right, so if I should click on theme settings now. All right, so our website has opened up for us, and this is it right here. However, we can't see the home page itself, all right, because there's a way we are going to set it so that once we click, so let me show you, you can see. So if I should come over here and put my domain name /home, all right, so it's going to take us to the main home page itself. I'm going to show you how you can update that, so you can see. So let me refresh it so that you can see that we are live on our website. So you can see it right here. So this is our home page, and you can see we already have our website. So the next thing we are going to do is to see how we can update the information to suit what we actually want. All right, so you can see every other thing right here. Okay, so all the informations will be appearing as you scroll through the page. All right, currently you can see we don't have a footer. If you want the footer option also, I'll show you how to enable it. All right, just like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of customization options available to you. It now depends on what you actually want, okay? Because you'll be seeing right now that some features here are different from even the demo I showed you earlier. All right, you can see now this is showing us this my account section, and an option to log in and log out. All right, so there are a lot of options that are available here. It all depends on what you want and how you want to get it done. All right, so I'm back on the dashboard now to make it easy, such that if I should over here and I say I want to view our website, it will take us to our home page. All right, instead of showing this particular page that we are seeing, instead of showing our blog page. All right, so let me just do that. So from here, you come over to appearance. So you can see appearance here. You see customize. So go ahead and click on customize, and then you'll be redirected to this page. Okay. So once you do, you scroll down and then you see home page settings. So click on it. All right, and then you select your home page display. We don't want it to show latest post. We want it to show a static page. And then here you select the page, which is home. So you look for home here. This is it right here. And then you select home, and then you go ahead and publish. So what this means is that once someone type in your domain name or your website name, it takes them directly to the home page, like as you can see here. Okay, so once that is done, again, you can come back to our dashboard. All right, and that thing I want to do is it's showing our store is coming soon. I just want it to go live immediately, so just click on it, and then it will open up this particular page. All right, and then just click on live, and then you save these changes. All right, so you can do all of this later, but I like to do it from the beginning. All right, so with that, let me come back to our dashboard, and then we can get started with creating our hotel website proper. Now, once you install your theme newly, all right, you need to pay attention, and you're on your dashboard, you need to pay attention to some of these informations that are showing here. All right, so don't just go ahead and just keep them or close them. Actually, I'll still show you how to reduce some of this information. But you see these ones at the top, pay attention to them. For example, here it's saying that booking confirmation and search pages are required to handle bookings. Press install button to create and set up these pages. Dismiss this notice if you already installed them. Now, what is letting us understand that there are some pages that we actually need. And this thing is telling us that, okay, if you click here, those pages will be installed for us automatically without us having to create it manually. All right, so that means we don't need to create them manually. But then before you skip it, always confirm that those pages are there. So for you to do so, just come over to pages. So click on all pages. Let me open that in a new tab. Right. So right here, we'll see the list of pages that we have. Right now, these pages has been created for us automatically because of the demo that we imported. All right, so that saves us the stress of creating all of these pages. So what you do is you confirm. The first one is talking about booking confirmation and search results. So let's see booking confirmation. You can see we already have a booking confirmation page. If you want to see what the page looks like, you can see view. Let me open this also in a new tab. So we already have this page. Next one is for search results. So if you can't find, you can see there's an option to check on the page 2. All right, then you confirm that, okay, let's see, we already have also the search results. Okay, so this is that confirmation page. All right, so this is what it looks like, and then you're going to have the information about your booking right here. So we already have the booking and confirmation, so I can come here and click on skip. All right, the same thing you're going to do with checkout. The second one is talking about the checkout page. All right, so if I should check my pages now, we already have the checkout page. All right, so these are some things you need to pay attention to. You can see we already have, in fact, we have two. One is for WooCommerce and one is for the theme that we installed itself. All right, so these are some of the things you need to pay attention to. All right, so I can go ahead and skip this. Okay, all right, so I can also dismiss this. Now if you don't want to see any information here, or maybe you want to select, maybe you just want few information that will show up here, you can see the screen option. You can uncheck them, all right, and just check anyone that you want to appear. All right, so depending on the information that you want to see when you are on your dashboard, all right, so you can just leave any of those there. So just take note of that. Now I'm currently on the dashboard of our website. All right, as you can see from here. All right, so you can see I'm on my dashboard, and now this is what our website currently looks like. Now once you are accessing your website and you are seeing this top section like this, all right, so you are seeing this ID, you are seeing your username, you are seeing all of this. That means it's because you are logged in as the admin. All right, so that is why you can see this. All right, but if I'm viewing the website from, let's say, a different browser where I'm not logged in, this is how it would look like. You can see currently we don't have, our menu is not showing, our logo and everything. Now this button is what is showing up here, which is similar to this. Because I'm logged in, that is why it's showing my username and this option. So I'll show you where you can either choose to enable or disable this, and how you can bring in your menu so you can see what the pages is looking like. Now if for any reason when you import your demo is not well arranged, so what you can do is to clear your cache. All right, so I've showed you how to do that. You can do it from your hosting. All right, so once you're on your hosting, and then you can see, make sure you're on your website, you see this option here to clear cache. All right, so just do that, and then you come back and refresh, and everything will fall into place. All right, so with that being said, now going back to our dashboard, now we want to explore all of these options here, so that, because these are the options we are going to be looking at to create our website. So the next one we want to start with is, if you scroll down to the left, you see this option of accommodation. When you hover over it, you see a good number of options right here. All right, so you can see we have accommodation types, add new accommodation category, tags, ratings, seasons, rates, services, accommodation, generate accommodation, settings, language. So now let's start with settings. So let me open that in a new tab before we look at every other things there. The first option you see here is under the general, and it deals with pages. All right, so that is asking us to select some default pages. Now we have the search results page, and then you come here and look for that search results. So this is it right here. All right, remember the demo we imported has created all the pages that we need, definitely like most of the pages, except you want to create a different type of page, and we are still going to get there. So the next one is checkout. So you look for your checkout page. Now there are two checkout page. One is by the theme itself, another one is courtesy of WooCommerce. So for you to be sure of the one that you want to use, so just come over to your pages. So you can see it right here, pages, and then you look for the checkout. So these are the two checkout page that are here. So you can just view them. Let me open it in a new tab. This is the first one and this is the second one, just to be sure of the one that you are using. All right, so this is the first one and this is the second one. So I'll be making use of the second one. All right, so but this one is more like a cart page. All right, so I'll come back to these settings. For the checkout, I want to use the second one. So for the terms and condition page, so you come here to and select your terms and condition page. So basically, remember when we were checking out and it was asking us that I have accepted the terms and condition, and the terms and condition was clickable. That's because the page has been selected for the terms and condition. So also my account page, so I'll scroll down and look for my account. We have to my account page. So the same thing, you come back to pages and then go through them and be sure of the my account page that you want to use. So let me view, this is the first one and this is the second one. Right, so here is one here. This is showing others download address. So this is, I think this is one for WooCommerce. Let me see the second one. All right. Okay, they are pretty much almost similar. Okay, so let me come back to settings and then let me just choose the second one. All right, now the next one is booking confirmation. So how do you want to confirm them? Booking confirmation mode. I always want to select confirm upon payment. Now what this means is that how do you want to confirm to a user, somebody that came on your website to book for an hotel or something? How do you want them to confirm? Is it when they make payments? All right, I want to send them a mail upon confirmation. Now, another thing I also need to mention here is that away from all of these pages, every other information here, there are a whole lot of them. It all depends on what you intend to achieve. All right, so what I'm saying in essence is that it's not compulsory you should follow the options I'm going to be choosing, because once we are done with the website, I'll still try and come back here so that I'll choose a different options for some of these things so that you can see how they will affect some features in your website. Now, what I'm saying is, it's not that those options are not correct, but it depends on what you tend to achieve. Now, for example, now this confirmation mode, I select the option of confirmation upon payment. That means once they are making booking on your website, it is when they make payments that their confirmation, their booking will be confirmed. Now, if you want to just do it maybe by customer email only, that's okay. Once you go ahead to book for an hotel, you already have it reserved, even if you have not made payments. So it all depends on how you want to operate it, okay? So booking confirmed page, so you come here and then you select booking confirmation, all right, for this. Okay, then approval time for user, this is set to 20. Now, period of time in minutes, the user is given to confirm booking by email. Unconfirmed booking become abandoned and accommodation status changes to available. So it depends on if you want to increase the time or reduce it. Okay, so country of residence field is required for reservation. If you want that information, full address are required. Customers information is required when placing admin booking. So you can choose that. Okay, so default country on checkout, once they are checking out, what country do you want to be there by default? Okay, so let's say, so let me just put in Nigeria there. So basically what I just see here, this option makes it easy when they are checking out, so they don't need to put in their country. And these options, if you want to use it anyway, if most of your customers are coming from just a single country, you can just put it there. But if you are receiving bookings from people from different parts of the world, all right, so you can just leave it blank. Okay, so price breakdown, this price breakdown unfolded by default, I just want to leave it unchecked. So what it means is that once the pricing comes up when you are checking out, maybe you want the breakdown to show up, but I want you to have an option where you can select if you want to see the breakdown. Okay, so booking cancellation, user can cancel booking via link provided in the email if you want that option. So here you select your booking cancellation page, you select it, and then you look for booking cancelled. This is it. Okay, booking cancellation rather. This is it. Booking cancelled page. This is it. Booking cancelled. All right. So now this account creation is another interesting part. Automatically create an account for user at checkout. If you want to create an account for them automatically at checkout, this is what you select. If you want users to create accounts during checkout, okay, you select this. And if you want to allow customers to log in their existing account during checkout, so you select this option. So I want them to be able to log into their existing accounts when they are checking out, okay, and I also want them to be able to create an account during checkouts. Okay, now this option will give them this particular allow customers to log into their existing accounts. Once this is checked, now there'll be an option that will show them that, okay, do you want to log into your existing accounts? Okay, why this also will show them that, do you want to create an account, and they'll have to check it. I'm still going to show you this when we are done. But if you click these automatic options, you won't see anything like creating an account at the end. Okay. So now the search options, maximum adults is set to 30, maximum children is set to 10. If you want to adjust this, is left to you. Search result, we need search result based on the required number of guests. Okay. So maybe you just want the search result to show based on how many guests that the person is said they want. All right. So booking button behavior on the search page redirects the checkout page immediately after successful addition to reservation. All right, so let's see some other ones. Skip search result page to enable direct booking from accommodation. So some of the options here are quite okay. All right, then we have this guest management. So we have here enable adult and children option for my website. Okay, so let me show you this now. So if you want to book now, you can see it is showing adult and children. What if you don't want to show this option where you just want guests? All right, so that is what that part is for. So you can see disable children option for websites, hide children, hide children field and use guest label instead. Okay, so if you want to disable the adult and children also, you can go for this option. All right, so I just want to disable the children part and then use guests also. So if you want to do the same thing, if you want to hide this for availability form, you can do that. So do not apply booking rules for admin booking. So this admin booking is if somebody wants to book from the back end. Okay, so this is the option for that. Now this is where you select your currency and then the currency position. Do you want it to be before decimal, separator, thousand separator? Okay, my thousand separator I want it to be comma, and then my decimal I want it to be a full stop. All right, and then there are other miscellaneous settings that are here. Square units, is it in square minute, square foot, or square yard, depending on the units that you're familiar with. Then the date picker format, so you can select whatever date format you want to use. Checkout time, so this is where you select your checkout time for your hotels or for your rooms. All right, so these are the default checkout time. Now this option, if you want to add bed types, okay, so you can just do so, just click on add bed types, you give it the type, and then that's just it. So let me just delete this. Show lowest price for the last 7 days. Now coupon, enable the use of coupon. If you want to let people to be able to use coupon, all right, so just check this to enable the use of coupon. All right, so I'll still show you where you can create a coupon. So you can see under bookings now, you see this coupon. This is where you're going to create coupon. All right, so if you want to give discount and the likes, that's where the coupon is. All right, so the default calendar view is set to custom. So if you want to use yearly, quarterly, or monthly calendar view, this is where you can adjust that. So text on checkout. So if once people are checking out and you want to show some text, remember in the demo I was showing earlier at the beginning of the video, you see some long text during checkout. So this is where you can put in your own text if you want to have some of those texts on checkout. Okay, so disable booking, hide reservation form and button if you want to use this. Then text instead of reservation form while booking is disabled. All right, so you can go through this. Available calendar, display per night prices in available calendar. So all of these options, you can just leave them the way it is. Calendar theme, so these are the different calendar theme that you can choose from. Okay, so if you want to have more styles, you can go ahead and install these. All of these, I think they are okay the way they are. So once you are done here, just go ahead and save. Okay, so we might still come back here towards the end of the video to change one or two things, and then I'll show you what will happen to your booking pattern with some of the changes we are going to make. So away from general, we have admin emails. So this is enabled. If you want to disable this, so you can see disable this email. Now, what's this email for? New booking. So what it means is that once you receive a new booking, you as an admin, you are going to receive an email. And this is what the email will look like. So you can see booking, then the ID number will show here is pending for administrator approval. So if you want to view booking, you can click the link in the email. So here is details of booking. These are short codes. Check in to show the dates and then the time, the checkouts, the customer's info, the price, and everything. Now, this is where you can, if you want to format it, and if you need some email tags, so if once you click here, you can see you want to use all these tags to create the content of the email. So you can do that here. All right. So the recipient is to show your email, all right, as a recipient. So approve booking email. Once a booking has been approved, so this is the email also you are going to receive. If you need to modify it, you can do so from here. Yeah. Another one is approve booking email via payment. So once the payment has been made for a booking. So this is the email you are going to receive. You can see details of payment. All right, so cancelled booking. So once the booking has been cancelled, you as an admin, you are going to receive an email, and this is what the email will look like. All right, so if you want to make any changes here, you can see it is clickable. You can see it here. So don't forget to save changes once you make any changes right here. So away from that, we also have customer emails rather. So the same thing for the admin email, it same applies to the customer emails. So this is the email the customer will get. All right, so you can see from the body there, customer first name will show up here, and the last name. Your reservation is pending. So this is for maybe a pending reservation. Once a new booking is made, you can see confirm your booking. So basically, if you just need to change anything, that is why this field is here. All right. Then next we go to email settings. All right, so administrator email is always by default the email that you use to, your WordPress admin email. So if you need to change it, you can do it here. Now from email, it will also show your administrator email. So if you want to change it, you can do it here. So for example, this from email now, I can say maybe info at, then my domain name. All right. So since I'm using this, I can just put it like this. That's okay. This is where the email is coming from. And by the way, if you want to know how to create custom emails with your domain, for example, something like maybe info at yourdomainname.com, contact at, or you can say maybe hotels at, booking at, okay, so you can do so. Then from name, you can see it will be the name we created here, but if you want to use something different, you can just put it here. So if you want to put in your logo URL, make sure you put in your logo URL right here. Now for you to get your logo URL, so from your media, so let me open this in a new tab. So just open up your media library. All right, so let's say I want to use, let's say I want to use this as our logo. So I'll just click on it. So you can see it here. This is our logo URL right here. You can just say copy URL to clipboard. So once you copy it, then you come back here and just come and paste it here. All right, so you can see this is the logo URL. So footer text, if you want to change it, this is the footer text by default. If you need to change it, that is why all of these options are here. And then every other thing. Now, base color is set to this color, background color, and if you want to change the color also, this is where you can do it. So don't worry, once you do a test after at the end of this video, you're going to see all of these options, and then if you need to change them, all right. So guys, if you are finding value, please give the video a thumbs up. Okay, now let's look at the payment. Now this payment gateway talks about how you want to receive payment. Now if you look here, there are different ways you can get paid. So you can see we have the option of, this is just for test purposes. We also have, you want to do the option of pay on arrival, but before we get there, let's just go through all of these. So users pay full amount. Okay, if you want them to pay full amount or deposits, you can select this option. And that is why I said it at the point that all these options, it all depends on how you want to run your hotel booking website. Okay, so if you want to collect your full payment, that's full amount, you select this option for full amount. If you want to do deposit type, you can select here deposit, and then you select how many percent deposit do they need to pay when they are making booking on the website. Okay, so it all depends on you. So I'm going to do full amount, so I select full amount. Okay, since I've selected full amount, I don't need to worry about this deposit time frame, right? So all apply deposit to booking made in at least the selected number of days prior to checkout, otherwise the full payment is charged. Okay, so then this is where you can select all these pages. Also we have the reservation received page, so you look for it, reservation received, this is it right here. Failed transaction page, so you look for it, failed transaction field, this is it. Now default gateway, we've not selected any gateway, that's why this option is not there. So pending timeout, period of time in minute the user is given to complete payment. Okay, so once they are booking and they've not make payments, if within 60 minutes, then the accommodation will be abandoned. You can see it here. So click on save changes, because we've made some changes right here. All right, so the next thing is, now you select from all of these options, how do you want to get paid? We have the option of pay on arrival, we have direct bank transfer, PayPal, to checkout, Stripe, Braintree, Pinstream, WooCommerce payment. So depending on the payment, if you want to do pay on arrival, so just click on it, right? And then you see the option of enable pay on arrival, right? So this is the title. If you want to give it a description and instruction, all right? So you can add an instruction. In this instruction, you can see instruction for a customer on how to complete the payment. Okay, so if you want to do direct bank transfer, you click this option for direct bank transfer, And if you want to enable it, so just check this box. Okay, so check this, then you put an instruction here. So the instruction could be, okay, then let's see. So account number, for that's the bank account number, and just put in some random numbers right here. Okay, then we are going to be having account name. So account name could be the name of the hotel. So let's say PA Hotels. All right, so that is how it works. So this information will show at the front end. I can see there's already a description. And make your payment directly into a bank account. Please use your booking ID as payment reference. Okay, so you want to also enable auto abandonment. That is, if you read the description, it will tell you what that is. Then pending payment time, period of time in hours, user has to pay for booking. Unpaid booking becomes abandoned. So they have like 2 hours to make payments using this direct bank transfer. If they don't make the payment within 2 hours, that booking or that accommodation will be abandoned and cancelled. Okay, so these are payment instruction. That means, what this means is that once the customer is checking out using this direct bank transfer, they are going to receive this email. You can see email templates where it will say, dear customer, first name and last name, we've received your request for reservation. To confirm your booking, please follow the instruction below for payments. All right, so amount that they'll pay will show up, the payment instruction will show up. Now this payment instruction is this information, which is the account details they are to pay to. All right, and every other information. So if you need to change it, that is why you have access to all of this. So once you do that, save changes, and you can afford to use more than one payment system. For example, I've enabled direct bank transfer. If I want to use PayPal also, I come over to PayPal, I click on enable PayPal, and then I fill in all of this information. For this now, I have to put in my PayPal business email, okay, to use this. If I want to also do that of to checkout, so this is another payment gateway. Once I'm there, I'll click enable it to checkout. I'll enable it, then I'll put in the account number, the secret word, which you are going to get it from your to checkout. Now, if you want to use a payment system that is not available here, you can now integrate it with WooCommerce payment. WooCommerce will allow you to use other types of payment gateway. Okay, so that's the advantage there. So I've enabled direct bank transfer. So let me come and here and enable this pay on arrival. Okay, so you want to also put in an instruction for a customer, so do that here. So with this now, for this website we are making now, we've enabled 2 payment gateways, all right, which is pay on the arrival and then direct bank transfer. Okay, so if you come over to extensions, so let's see what we have here. So if you want to put work with all of these extensions, this is for review, numbers of letter displays before the read mark. Then so there's nothing under here. So let's move to the next one, which is payment request. So under payment request, we also have this option here. It says automatic email, enable automatic payment request email to customer in regards to the booking balance or full balance. Okay, so maybe if somebody is owing you and they are yet to pay, that's why I said it depends on how you structure your website. Okay, so maybe you want to sell them a payment request email in regards to the booking balance or the full balance. Maybe somebody came to your hotel, they are yet to pay up. That is, maybe you didn't collect the full payment and you want to send them an automatic email. Okay, all right, so days before, the number of days to send automatic email prior to the check-in is, okay, this is even before the check-in, right? Okay, so this is before the check-in. All right, so maybe if they book in advance here, and then you want to send them an email to pay up the full balance, okay? So payment request page, let's see if you have a payment request page. So if you don't have one, you can go ahead and you can see this is the shortcode to create a payment request page. All right, so I'll still show you how to create a page using shortcode, but take a look at this. If I don't think we have a payment request, let's see. We don't have that page created, so it's telling you that if you want to create yours, so this is the shortcode you are going to use to create your payment request. So once you create the page, you come here and then you look for it and then you select it. Okay, so balance due request, enable this email automatically or manually sent to customer regarding a booking balance. All right, so if there's a balance that they need to pay, what you just, this is the email right here. Okay, so every other email here has to do with payment. You can see payment request email, payment confirmation. So that means once they finally make payment, this is the email they are going to receive. And if you need to change anything here, that is why you have access to all of these parts of the website. Okay, so away from that, we also have invoices. So this is for invoice. If you want to give your invoice title, invoice number format, all right. Start invoice ID, starting number of your invoice ID. Add leading zeros to the minimum invoice ID. So it all depends on you. Now, company logo. So make sure you add your company logo here. You click on add image. Let me select it from media library. So let's say I want to use this as the company logo, right? So that it can appear on the invoice. You put in your company name here. So all of this information are very important. So let me say PA Hotels. So company information that will be shown on the invoice, you put it here. If you want to add additional information, all right? So invoice link on confirmation, add a link to a PDF invoice in the booking confirmation page of this site. Okay, so if you want to do that, and then the fonts option, okay? So make sure you give an invoice, your title, your format number. Okay, so you can see they're showing you a template right here. Okay, so go ahead and then you save. So the next option here we are saying is MailChimp. So this is where you're going to set up your MailChimp. You put in your MailChimp API key. So for this now you have to go to MailChimp.com to create an account and get all of this information. All right, this is also the plugin for MailChimp here, MailChimp for WordPress. Okay, so you can also set it up from here, or also do that here. Okay, so away from that, we also have this price lab, notifier, and multi-currency. Now, for this multi-currency, if you want to use the multi-currency option, so this is where you're going to set that up. All right. So those are the options under extensions. Okay, and if you install some other type of plugins, you might have more options apart from what we are having here currently. So away from that, let's go to advanced. So under this advanced is where we have this REST API key. I'm not really sure how this works, okay? But if you look at the option to add keys, so this is what the page looks like, okay? So if this applies to you, you can go ahead and then do that. All right. So now we've explored all the options under setting. Now let's look at how we can go ahead and create accommodation. So to start with all of these options, right? Now this shortcode is where you're going to get shortcodes. All right. So let me open that for you so you can see. So these shortcodes are codes that you can use to create different types of pages or sections on the website that requires using shortcode. Availability search form, this is the shortcode for it, and you can customize it using some of these parameters. Okay, if you want to create availability calendar, this is the shortcode for multi-property available calendar. Then if you scroll down, accommodation type listing, so this is the shortcode for it, and a list of other shortcodes. All right. So away from shortcodes, let me close these other tabs. So let me open up the category. I'll open up tags, amenities, seasons, then accommodation type. All right. Or you know what? Let me just open up everything so that we can just look at it. But then there are some that we need to set up one after the other. So let me just open up accommodation types, category tags, amenities, rating types, attributes, seasons, rates, services, then accommodations. So the first option we want to look at is accommodation categories. So you can see it under accommodation, we have categories. Now, basically, the idea here, if you want to create a category for your accommodation, all right? So if you don't understand what accommodation is just like a package that you're creating for a name that or a package that you're creating for your rooms, okay? So let me just use that word, all right? So if you want to create a category for them, for your accommodations, this is where you can create the category. Whatever category you create, you see it here. Now, all these categories, tags, amenities is what will help us in creating these accommodation types, okay? Because we are still going to get there. All right, so for this now, the demo we imported has only one, so you can have more than one. And once we start creating the accommodation itself, you understand. Now it's showing you the count. That means it was used 4 times. This particular category, these standard rooms, and let me show you right here under accommodation types. You can see it, accommodation category, we have standard rooms, standard rooms, standard rooms, standard rooms. That means if you want to categorize this accommodation type, you can put it under the category of standard rooms, and that is what they did here. So you can have something different, okay? Now, if you want to create your, just put it a name here. Maybe this we have standard room, then we can call this maybe executive room, depending on how you want to name your categories for your accommodation. Okay, and then you go ahead and click on add new category. Now this same thing is similar to what we have as tags. So you can see these are the tags that they have here. Now if this tags is not what fits what you are working on, your kind of hotel accommodation that you want to create, you can just go ahead and delete them and start creating yours. And creating yours is the same thing with accommodation category. All right, so that's also those two. Now next I want to look at amenities. Okay, so you can see here they are giving us a short description of what amenities entails. You can see these are accommodation amenities, generally free ones. Example, air condition, Wi-Fi. All right, so just like what they said, here, you can just give some of the amenities that your accommodations offer, maybe free things that they'll get. Okay, for example, these ones were created by the demo that we installed. So you can go ahead and delete it and create yours. Maybe, okay, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, you can see here, work decks, maybe USB charging station, non-smoking minibar, just give some of the free things that they are going to be getting by choosing an accommodation. So just list out, create a list of amenities of some of the things they are going to be getting once they book for a room or an accommodation with you. Okay, so just go ahead and list them there, because all these options will become clickable once you are creating your own accommodation itself. All right, so once you can just click on this here, come to bulk action, delete everything and start creating yours. And to create yours, you can just do the same thing. Let me see. Okay, Wi-Fi is not here, so let's say I'll just give it Wi-Fi. Okay, so you can leave this log, it automatically pick the name here. All right, and then if you want to put in a description, all right, then just click on add new amenities. So you can see this is it right here. This is one we've just created. All right, so that is how you can go ahead and create your own amenities. Now the next one is ratings type. Now this option was not used. All right, so I can just go ahead and skip this. All right, let's see rating type. Okay, so if you want to work with this, so you can just go ahead and create some ratings for it. Then the next one is also attributes. Now, attribute lets you define extra accommodation data such as location or type. You can use this attribute in the search availability form as advanced search filter. All right. Now, they didn't use it in this demo we imported, didn't really use this attribute, but if you want to use it based on this, all right, if you want to define extra data, remember under amenities, we've already defined some things that, some amenities. Okay. So you can also use this attribute to also add some of this data. And the one thing that makes this attribute different from amenities is that you can include some attributes that you create here in your search filter. Okay, so maybe after choosing let's see if I should come here now, maybe after choosing a check-in date, checkout date, adults, and how many guests that, let me even refresh this, and how many guests that they want. All right, if you want to add some other things that might be in the search filter, it has to be in the attributes. Okay, so that is how that works. Now, away from this, so if you want to create new, just click on add new attributes. Okay, and then you'll be able to give it a title, visible in details, a sorting order, all right, and then the default text, and then you publish. Okay, so that is how you can create your attributes. Okay, so the next one is season. All right, so by default we already have one season. Okay, and then if you want to create as many as possible, you can do so. So let me click on the edit button so I can show you the information that are available here. Now, if you want to create different season, so maybe this is normal season from the start date to the end date, and what days does it apply? Do you want it to be annually? Okay, right, maybe every year between these dates, they should be, you can class it under this season, and I'll show you why this applies. Then repeat until which date. Okay, so let me just update this. I didn't make any changes, but let's go back to season. So let me come back here. So basically what this works with is, let's say I want to create a season for Ember season, let me call it like that. So add new, or maybe Easter season. Okay, Easter date changes, but let's say for Christmas season now. So let me call this Christmas and New Year. Okay, so in Christmas and New Year, people travel a lot. Okay, and there will be, definitely there should be more bookings during that period. So I can say maybe that should start in December. So let's say I want to start that for December, from December 21st to January. So let's say up to January 3rd. Okay, and then applies for all the days. Okay, I just want it to be, okay, all the days. You can see hold control or command to select multiples. So I want it to repeat annually. So that means every year from on the 21st of December to on the 3rd of January, I want to class it under Christmas and New Year. All right, this should be New Year. Okay, so repeat until date. So if you want to, if this applies to you, you can do this, and then you go ahead and publish. All right, I will still show you where this comes in very handy. So with this now, you can create different seasons as possible. Okay, so you can see here there's a description here that seasons are a real period of time, date, or days that comes with different price for accommodation. And this is, I don't even know how they've even put it here. So basically the idea behind season is that you can create different prices for all of these seasons. For example, maybe you charge maybe per room. Let me just give you, for example, generally you charge $50 for a room, right? But you know that during a particular season of the year, you can charge for that same room maybe for $60. Okay, so instead of you coming back to update such information manually, with the help of creating seasons, okay, it might not even be during Christmas season, maybe based on your location. You know, there's a particular season where there's always a peak sales, or there's always a high influx of bookings or clients, you know, and you want to take advantage of that to either give it a different pricing, like you can see here. Seasons are real products and period of time, date, or days that comes with different pricing for accommodation, e.g. winter, $120 per night. For Christmas, it's going to be $150 per night. Okay, so you can see it here. Maybe during winter, you charge less. During summer, you want to charge higher, you know. Seasons is what will enable you to do that. So you can create seasons for all of this and create a new season for all of this. Okay, you can see add a new season. All right, so that is how seasons work. Now, away from that, now the next one we are going to look at is, let's look at services first before we look at rates. Now, services are, you can see services are extra offers that you can sell or give for free. All right. Example, we have Thai massage, transfer, babysitting. Guests can pre-order them when placing an order. All right. So these are two that was created for example purpose. We have breakfast and airport transfer. So if you want to, if this doesn't apply to, just go ahead and delete it. So if you want to edit it, you can just click on edit here. But if you want to create your, let's say I want to create, let's say I want to create, let me click on add new service. And let's say I want to have a massage. Okay, then you put in a description right here. Right, I don't want, if you want to allow comments, it all depends on you, but I don't think I want comments. Okay, so this, you're going to put in a price. If it is free, just leave it as 0 like this. All right, so then the period, is it, you want to charge them per day or just once? Okay, so if you want to charge them, maybe they are going to be spending 3 nights. If they are going to be, I'm sure you maybe want to get a massage every day, so that is, you can see the option for per day. Now it depends on the service anyway, so that will determine what you want to use. Okay, so maybe the guest can choose the minimum, and then you set the maximum and how much you want to charge. So let's say I want to do it per day. Okay, then charge per guest or per accommodation. Okay, the difference between per guest and per accommodation is, if you want to charge per accommodation, so that means if you are choosing for one accommodation, you are going to pay. But if you are paying per guest, that means number of guests, like how many person you want to charge. For example, now if you have 2 guests that are using one accommodation, so that means they are going to be charging twice. Okay, or 3 guests if it is 3 guests. But if it is per accommodation, that means even if you have 5 guests that in that room, you're just going to be paying for the accommodation. So that's the difference. All right, so once you have done that, you can go ahead and put in a featured image, all right, that best fits the service itself, and then you go ahead and publish. Okay, so let me go back. So I'm not saving this just, I'm just using that to explain. So with this now, you can create as many services as possible. You can see they've given us an example of what services is all about. All right, the next one is, let's come over to rates. Okay, so under rates is where you create, you can see rates are used to offer different price of the same accommodation type depending on extra condition. For example, with breakfast, with no breakfast, refundable, etc., guests will choose preferable rates when submitting a booking request. Create one default rate if you have no price tier. To add price variation for different period, open a rate, add season, and set the price. Okay, so before we start to work on these rates, all right, so the next thing we are supposed to do is to come to accommodation and create our accommodation type. All right, now you need to pay attention to the sequence, the order in which I'm talking about all of these options here. Okay, so next thing is for us to create an accommodation type. Now you can see for the accommodation type, see the description here to make you understand what accommodation type means. It says these are not physical accommodation, but they are types, e.g. standard double room. To specify the real number of existing accommodation, you need to generate accommodation menu. All right, so just take note of this. So like, this is what I want you to pick here. These are not physical accommodation, but types. Okay, so this is where you create a type of accommodation or a type of room that you have available for your hotel. Now, if you look at the example we have here, we have superior room, deluxe room, signature room, luxury suite room. I hope you already get the idea now of what this room entails. Okay, so if you want to create yours now, let me show you what one of them looks like. So if I should come here and I click on view, okay, you are going to see what looks like. We've looked at it earlier, and this is what one of them looks like: superior room, and this is the design and the layout. Okay, now what you can do is, there are two ways to go about this. If you want to maintain this design or this layout for yours, okay, so like you can see here, maybe you want to maintain this layout, all right, and fine, you might want to make changes to one or two things. So what you do is, under this accommodation, you just go ahead and duplicate one of them, okay, or you can just edit it, or you just duplicate it, all right, whichever one applies to you. Okay, so if you want to do the option of edit, you can just click here to let me open that in a new tab. All right, so you can just edit, for example, this superior room, and if you want to maintain the name, it all depends on you. You go ahead and then you can do that. And then under accommodation category, you can see under the category, this is where you select your category. Then accommodation tag, if you created tags, you select your tags here. The amenities that are available, you'll be able to choose that here. Okay, while on this side here, basically this is where you put in your excerpt, great for business trip, and no comment is allowed. All right, then the accommodation is set to 10. Then if you want to put a notice customizer, there's no notice here. Now the capacity for this is superior room. This is where you select the capacity for it. That for this room, you can only, it is only for maximum of 2 adults and 1 children. Okay, that's it here. Then base adult occupancy, that is an optional starting value used when creating season price in the menu rate. All right, so you want to put other information like the size of the room, the view, garden view, the bed type, twin bed, all this information. If you have them, if you want to put them, fine. This way, you're going to select available service. So once you are done with this, you go ahead and click on update. Okay, now this pages was created using Elementor Page Builder. All right, so once you are done with that, just go ahead and click edit with Elementor. So once it opens up like this, you can see this is where you can now edit this part of the page. You can see once you click on it, you can then put in this information yourself. All right, that's if you want to use Elementor Page Builder, and then you can use all of these elements here to create this section. Now, if you are new to Elementor, I'm still going to explain Elementor once we are dealing with the home page. All right, but if you're familiar with Elementor, I believe you won't have problem with all of this. These are shortcode that's okay. This was used availability shirt form. This was created using a shortcode. This is the availability calendar. All right, and if you look at it here, it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you look at the code here, it's showing 4. So maybe if I want to do it to 3, I want to just show 3 calendar, and the meaning of this calendar that is showing here means that it's showing us the dates that are available. All right, the dates in those months that are available, so that can guide us to choose our check-in and check-out date. Now you'll notice something, that this has changed to guests. Okay, that's part of the options we selected when we were on settings. Okay, I don't know if you remember, on settings where we changed that it should remove children and change it to guests. Now you can see it has taken effect. So any changes you make, just go ahead and click on publish. Okay, so this is how you can go ahead and create your accommodation type. All right, and like I said, if you want to, maybe once you have created one and you want to duplicate it, so that you can just edit it just the same way I've shown you here, to make the work much easier. So what you do is you come over to plugin and download a particular plugin called duplicate. So let me show you. I come to plugin and click on add new. On that side, look for duplicate. So duplicate page, so go ahead and install and activate this particular one. So that plugin has been installed and activated. You can see duplicate page. So now I can come back here and then just refresh this page. So now I can see there's an option to duplicate. Okay, so if you create any accommodation type and you just want to duplicate them so that you can make some changes, it makes the creation process much easier. So you just click on duplicate this and it will duplicate whatever accommodation type you create. This thing also works for pages also. If you want to duplicate pages, post on anything, you can duplicate it. All right, so if you want to use the option of Elementor, that's how to go about it. But if you don't want to use Elementor, maybe you want to just create it normal, okay, you can just see add new accommodation type. And if you want to use a different design or a different layout, it all depends on you. So let's say I want to create a accommodation type, and let me just name it basic room. For example, now I named this basic room. So you can see there is an information here that you can use Elementor to create your page. Okay, so I want to name it basic room, and then I can put in some description if I want to. Custom booking URL, if that's optional. Custom pricing is optional. Make menu transparent is turned on. Okay, now an excerpt. Okay, so I can say that comfort on a budget. So for this, I don't want comments. All right. Number of accommodation. Let's say for this now I have 10. So what it means is that I have 10 rooms under this particular category for basic room. Okay. Then notice, if you want to put in notice, you can put it here. Now for the capacity, I just want a maximum of 2. Okay. So children, and then let's just say 1. All right. So if you want to use this capacity, fine. And this other one. So for the size, you can just put in the size there. Now, if you don't have this information, you can decide not to put it. But one thing I would advise is that if you use it in one of the accommodation types, make sure you also apply it to all other accommodation. Okay. So it's not that you put in size for this one and then the next one you will not put it. You understand this view and the bed type. Okay. So just make sure you create that consistency. So let's say for this now is 25. I don't even know how big that is. 25 meters square the view, and then you can say okay, maybe no view, but if there's view at all. All right, bed type, I can just put I don't know, I can just put in the bed type here. Okay, so you can see set bed type list. If you at that place that shows us under settings, I don't know if you still remember that we had bed type. As me we put in some bed types, we'll just be able to select. Okay, now then if we want to add some service, so maybe I want to say okay, like breakfast is available, and then you can add as many services as possible. So that's it here. I can come to my right and select the accommodation category that it falls under. Okay, so I don't want to put it under standard. Under the tags also, you can also put it under the tag that is falls under. You select the amenities that is available. Maybe you can get Wi-Fi, you get a water desk, and then let's say electric sale and charging facility. Okay, so maybe these are the things that you're getting because it's just a basic room. Okay, and then the next thing we want to put is let's see, if you want to put in attributes. Okay, we didn't use attribute for this website itself. Then if you want to put in photo gallery, so let me click on add image. So that means you're going to show maybe different sections of the room of what it looks like. So let's say I want to just put these 2 for tutorial purpose. I've selected 2. You can see add gallery to accommodation type. Then the featured image is the image that is going to, introduce this particular accommodation type. For example, okay, we're still going to come back here. So for the featured image now, the featured image should be something, different anyway. So let's say I want to use this and I click on set featured image. Okay. So this add gallery, what's happening? I selected some gallery because I add to gallery type. Okay. So once you've done all of this, you can just go ahead and click on publish. Right, so let me show you what it looks like. Let me open that in a new tab. So it has opened up, and this is what it looks like. Basic room, comfort on a budget. So under details, if you want to book now, you can see 2 guests, the size, and then there is no view. That's what I just typed, no view. Then in terms of amenities, you can see these are the options that I select: Wi-Fi, work decks, and this. In terms of extra service, breakfast, and this is the image I added. All right, that's the gallery image. All right, and these are the this one was created just by default. Now this is how it will look like if you decide to create it normally. Okay, but if you want to have something that looks like this, okay, so that's when you can decide to also use Elementor Page Builder to create something different, something unique. Okay, so those are the 2 ways you can decide to create yours. So let me come back. Okay, so if you want to do Elementor, you can see it here, edit with Elementor, and then you can open it up. So let me just do that. So if I should come back to edit, okay, so let me just compare these 2 now. You can see this is the one we've just created. I didn't select accommodation category and tags, so you can do that. You can see the amenities I selected. We didn't use rating throughout. Then the capacity, you can see the bed type. Okay, I didn't put any information there. And then the accommodation, that means we have 10 rooms for basic room under the category for basic room. That is why we are having total 10 and total that's active. And this is the featured image. Okay, so let me just come back here and click on edit. So maybe you don't want yours to look like this. Maybe you want to create something unique or different. So from the edit now, so you just click on this edit with Elementor. So with this, you are going to use your knowledge or idea of Elementor Page Builder now to create how you want the page to be displayed. Okay, so it depends on your level of creativity with using Elementor. And if you want to maintain the ones from the other ones that was created, you can also do that. Let me go back. If you want to maintain this design, what you do is just to duplicate it, you edit it and modify the information. So now that we've walked you through the process of creating different accommodation type, at least we've used this as an example. So now you're going to come back to your rate. Now we are going to create a rate for this accommodation type that we've just created. All right, so what you do is just go ahead and click on add new rates. All right, so you can give this rate a name. So let me also call it basic room. Let it match the accommodation type. Now this is, I'm going to select the accommodation type, so you can see it's right here, basic room. All right, so season price, select accommodation type and click create rates button to continue. All right, so you can go ahead and give it a description. All right, but let's just come here and click on create rates. All right, so you can see it here for basic room. We selected that for basic room. Now add new season. Okay, so for this add new season, so let me just click on it. Now remember, we've created 2 seasons, for normal season and maybe Christmas season. Now this is how much this is where you're going to create how much you want to be charging for basic room for normal season. Now we are dealing with normal season. You can see the for normal season, if you want to adjust the base occupancy, okay, we can't even adjust it because this is what we actually, okay, we can also adjust it right here. Okay, then price per night. Okay, this is where you're going to put in the price per night. Maybe for this now, I want to charge like $50 per night. Okay, and then price per extra adult. If you want to charge, maybe, remember this is the base occupancy. Maybe for any reason they want to add, maybe they want to have like 3 adults in that same room. Okay, so you can put in how much you want to charge if that applies. Okay, so if you want to enable variable pricing, all right, you can also do that. All right, so that is for the season. So let's say this is for season, I mean normal season rather. So let's say I want to add a new season for Christmas season now. So let's say for Christmas season, for this same room, I want to charge, instead of 50, I want to charge 65. Okay, so once you have done with all of this, okay, you just go ahead and update rates. Okay, and then with that, I can now go back to my rates. So now I'm back to our basic room. Now remember, while we were editing this basic room, I click on this edit with Elementor and I published. Okay, but then since I didn't create a design using, let me see, am I recording? Hello. So since I didn't create a design using the Elementor, I had to revert it. You see an option here, return back to WordPress editor. All right, so if you view it now, you can see this is what our basic room currently looks like. It's showing that the price is from $50. And then you can remember that while setting up our rates, you can see our starting price is $50 for the normal season. And then for Christmas and New Year, it goes up to 65. So the list price here is $50, and that is what is reflecting here. You can see from $50. Okay, so with that now, I've walked you through how to create accommodation and how to do the pricing. So the next thing we ought to look at is these accommodations. Now, however, what this does is it creates multiple accommodation types. Okay, and what it means is that you create this based on number of rooms you have available for that accommodation type. Okay, you can see these are real accommodation like room, apartment, houses, villa, bed for hostels, etc. For example, now for basic rooms, you can see we have 10. So you can look 1, 2, it is not properly arranged. 1, 2, this is 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And remember, when we were creating it, it asked us how many accommodation. I selected 10, and that's why we have 10 here. Now, if I didn't select that option, I can also create it from here. I'll just click on generate accommodations. So that means if you create one accommodation type, let me come back here and show you. So if you create just one accommodation type, and when you are creating yours, you didn't create number of accommodation like you can see here. Okay, so this is the other place where you can do generate accommodation. Number of accommodation you want to create, you can select it. That is how many available rooms do you have, how many accommodation, how many space, how many, depending on the terms that applies to the type of hotel website you are creating. Then you select the accommodation type, and then you can give it a title, and then you generate. Okay, so that is how that works. But we've gone ahead to do that by creating it. So you see the same thing is happening here. Luxury suite room, we have about 10 of them, so you can see it here. So that means for this particular category or package of room, we have 10 rooms available for that. So that's the meaning of that. Okay, so with that now, we've gone through all the options that are available under accommodation, and this is one of the major things in creating your hotel booking website. Okay, so we look at shortcodes. I think it means language. Okay, so if you want to set up language, you want to make your website multilingual, so this is I'll be doing this in a separate video, okay, basically, but if you want to do that, this is just a walkthrough for that. Okay, so guys, I hope you are finding value in the video. Please, if you do, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are yet to. All right, So that's it on accommodation. Now let's move to the next thing that I want to look at in this video, which is under bookings. So if I should come to bookings now, and then let's open up some of the pages. Let's see all bookings. So let me open that again. All bookings, payment history, all bookings. Then we open up, let me just open up everything so that we can also look at some of the options that are available right here. So the first options under booking, so this is it right here. We have all we have payment history. Okay, so this is where you're going to see all the payments that was made from all the bookings that was made on the website. You see the booking ID, you see the customer's name, information about the customer, the status, is it on hold, is it failed, is it pending. All right, so you see the right category that it falls under, the payment that was made, the booking number, and the payment gateway. That means how did they pay. Okay, so for example, using this now, they paid using WooCommerce payment, this one paid pay on arrival. All right, so all of those things, you're going to see the date and then the transaction ID. All right, so the next one is bookings. Okay, if you look at here, all bookings, this is going to show the booking itself. Here you're going to see the booking ID, the status of the booking, the time that they check in and their checkout time that they choose while booking, the number of guests. You're going to see info about the customer, like the name, their email and phone number. You see the amount, the total price, and how much did they pay. All right, and then the accommodation that they choose, all right, based on what, and then the dates. You're going to see all of those information under bookings. Now this particular now from another thing you can do from the back end of this is, for example, payment history is you can add a new payment. So if I click here on add new payment, you can also make payments as an admin. Okay, if you have access to the back end of the website, you can also use that to also make payments. You can see here, you select your gateway and then you put in all of this information. You also have access to, you can see you can create a payment like that. Okay, and then you can mark it as completed or something. Now, so under booking also, like I said, you're going to see all the bookings that were made. Then you as an admin also, you can come here and also create booking. You can see create a new booking. Now, instead of customers creating booking, you can also do it. All right. Now, this can also come handy. You can also have this, maybe as secretary of the hotel, you can also use this system to create check-in for walk-in customer. Right. So you put in their check-in date, your checkout date, the accommodation type, and then maybe adults or children and number of guests, and then you search. Once you search for based on this information that you put in, and then you'll be able to, once you search, to show the list of available rooms that matches it. Okay, so you can see, and then you can see it here, you can reserve it. All right, so then you click on reserve. So this is you as an admin making booking for a guest. Like I said, you can do it for a working guest. So you can see this is how it works, and then you can go ahead and book. Okay, so that's it on this booking side. Now the next one is booking calendar. Now this is where you are going to see it will show you the calendar, and you can, if you look here, you can see booked, pending, external, and blocked. So it will show you all the rooms, all the accommodation that you have. It will show you the date and show you which one is booked. If you any one of the boxes that is showing green, is letting you know that it's booked. The one that is showing yellow is showing pending. The blue is showing external, and the red is showing blocked. All right, so you can also sort it based on all of these parameters right here. Okay, and you can see there's also option of new booking right here, which is similar to what we saw on this page here. Okay, the next one is customer. So once you start having customers, once people start making booking, their information will show you here, so you can see it from the back end. You see their name, their email, some of the bookings that they've made, the dates they registered, and the last time they logged in. All right, under customers. Now the next one is coupon. Remember, under settings, you can see coupon right here. Under settings earlier, we created the options to be able to add to allow coupon. So if you want to create your coupon, so if you come to bookings, you see the options here, coupons. All right, so you click here, add new coupon. So you can give the coupon a name. So I can call it let's just say the coupon code itself is what you are going to enter here. So once they enter this coupon, let's say first time. So maybe you also give a 10% off. You can just say first time 10, or you can just use any name that then you can give it a description. Let's say that 10% of first booking. So that's it. You can just give it that description. You can use whatever you want to use as your coupon code. You put it here. Now the condition, which of the accommodation type do you want this booking to work for? All right, so maybe you want to use it for everything, you can just go ahead and select everything. You can see it here. Applying a coupon code to selected accommodation in a booking, leave blank to apply to all of them. So if you just want to apply to any of them, you can just leave it blank. Or okay, I've selected one, so now I have to go ahead and select everything. So just click on it and then Control A or Command, depending on, then you can see I've selected everything that, okay, this particular coupon applies to everything. But if you want to just maybe one or two, you can just select it like this. Okay, maybe I just want to use for signature and deluxe room. So it all depends on you. Those options are available. So next is the discounts. This one now is for accommodation discounts. You have to pay attention. So do you want to do percentage discounts on accommodation price? Do you want to do fixed discount on accommodation price or fixed discount on daily night price? Now the difference here is percentage discount on accommodation price. Maybe you want to give a maybe 10% off. Okay, 10% off. If that's for percentage, for fixed discount is maybe okay, whatever you are booking, maybe you are booking something of $500 or $100. I just want to give you a discount of $100, irrespective of what of the total cost of your booking. All right, this is it here. Then fixed discount on daily and night. This is another option. Then you enter the amount. You can see enter percent of fixed amount according to selected type. So maybe I want to do percentage. Like I said, I want to do 10%. All right. So this is for the accommodation discount itself. So we also have that of service. All right. If you also want to do for service, you can select the percentage fix, or if you are not doing it at all, you select none. All right. So if you want it to work for only accommodation, you can just set up the settings and then you go ahead and you continue. All right. This is for free discounts if you don't want to apply it. Well, this is also for service. All right. So if you want to do service, and then you can select what service the discounts will work for. All right. So once you have done, the next thing is to fill in this usage restriction. The expiring date. When do you want this coupon to stop working? All right. Maybe I want to stop working on this date. I can select it. Check-in after or check-in before. You can also put in this information. Minimum days before check-in. What's the minimum number of days before they can check in? That's for early bird discount. The coupon code applies if a booking is made in a minimum set number of days before the check-in date. Okay, so maybe you want to check in. Let's say today is on the 10th, and then you want to check in on the 15th. You understand? That's like 4 or 5 days time. So you can also set how early can they apply and use this coupon. Okay, so those options are there. Maximum days before check-in. You can say for last minute discounts, the coupon code applies if a booking is made in a maximum set number of days before the check-in dates. All right, so you can fill in all this information. The minimum days, maximum days, usage limit. How many times can they use this coupon? So maybe they can only use this 20 times. It all depends on you. Then this is where it's going to show you how many times they've used it anytime you come here. Okay, so once you've put in all of this information, just go ahead and click on publish. All right, and with that you've been able to create your coupon. Okay, so you can see, so let's go back. So you can create as many coupons as possible. So you can see it here. This is just a summary of the coupon that we've just created. So away from coupon, the next thing we have is booking rules. So you can see it here, booking rules. Under booking rules, you can see check-in days. So you can add rule. When can they check in? Everything is checked right like this. Okay, and you can check in all the days. You can select all and like this. So what this means is maybe you just want to disable, maybe you don't want people to be able to check in on Monday. Now I can just uncheck Monday. So that means Monday will be unavailable on our calendar. All right, so once you want to do this, and or maybe they can check in all day, but maybe a particular accommodation, maybe I don't want basic room to be available. All right, I'll just click on what's on done. Okay, so you can see check in all days, accommodation, everything is available except the one I unchecked. And then you can see it here. So if I want to delete it, I can just go ahead and delete it. So checkout days too, you can see it here. The same thing applies to checkout dates. Let me delete that. So minimum stay, if you want to add a rule that, okay, maybe for example, you want to say that the minimum stay is 2 days. All right, so this is where you can do that. All right, and then you select the number of rooms that apply. If it applies to all the accommodations and season, just go ahead and do done. All right, and then maximum stay, maybe I'm sure maybe you'll just, okay, maybe you can stay maximum of 2 weeks, or it all depends on you. Okay, then block accommodation. Let's see what's here. If you want to block a particular accommodation, this is where you can block it. Maybe for example, for signature room now, maybe all the 10 rooms that is available there, I want to block it from maybe on the 18th to on the 23. All right. So that means during that period, people will not be able to book signature room from these dates. All right. And then you click on done. So that option too is available. So some of these things you might need it depending on one or two scenarios or how you plan to operate. Minimum advanced reservation, maximum advanced reservation, booking buffer. So all this, if you want to use them, just go ahead and add a rule and then you click on save. Okay, so that is it on booking rules. So next thing is taxes and fees. So no fees has been created here. So if you want to create a fee, so just click here, you give it a name. How do you want to charge it? Is it per guest, per accommodation, the amount, and then the limits, and then what is included. So if you don't understand it, show accommodation rate with the charge included. All right. So if you want to charge a particular fee, the fee might be depending on what the fee is meant for. Okay. So that's it for fee. Accommodation taxes. If you want to charge tax for accommodation, this is how you do it. Maybe you want to charge based on per guest, per day, or per accommodation. Maybe a particular percentage of the accommodation fee. This is it here, and then you enter the percentage amount. Okay, and then you can select which accommodation does it applies to. So the same thing is service tax. If you want to do fee tax also, it's just the same process to create tax and fees. So guys, if you are finding value, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, so the next one is notifications. Now, if you want to create notifications, all right, so let's try one. So if I click on add new notification, so you see a list of, now you give it a title for your notification. What type of notification? The only option that is available here is email. What will be the trigger? Like, do you want it to be automatic or manual? All right, so if it's automatic, you set it. When do you want it to go? Is it one day before or after check-in or check-out? All right. Then you can select for which of this accommodation, the recipients, who are those that's going to receive this email. Depending on what the mail is all about, maybe your admin customer or custom email to a custom email address. So the custom email address, this is where you're going to enter it. You can see you can use multiple comma separated email address. Okay. So now this is now the email, whatever email you want to send, you can see notification from, it will now show your site title, maybe PA Hotels. Then this is the header, notification for your booking, to show the booking ID, and this is the message. Okay, so you can see, dear customer, your information, you show the accommodation notice 1, notice 2, details of booking, depending on, this is just like a demo. This email here is just like a demo. So it depends on what kind of email you want to send to people. Maybe for example, now a day before the check-in, you can just send as a reminder that, okay, this is you can just give it a title that a reminder email. Now this is just for you to be able to identify the purpose of the email. The customer will not see it, or whoever is receiving the email will not see it. Reminder email, a day to check in. All right, okay, a day to check in. Okay, so you can have something like this. Okay, and then you just craft an email. Now, if you need email tags, you can find them here. Now, you can just use this as a reminder that, okay, this is just a reminder that you are checking in tomorrow. Then you can put in some information, maybe the room, let's see. You can put in, okay, that the check-in dates, let's see, the booking details, something like that. And then maybe you can also create a kind of notification, maybe a day after they've checked out, that, okay, thank you for using our hotel yesterday, or you understand, something like that. You can be creative with this, and then you go ahead and create. Okay, so that is what notification is all about. You can use it for some other things apart from this explanation I gave. If you're in the hotel business, I want to believe you understand how best you can use this particular feature. Okay, so the next one is checkout feed. Now, these are informations that you want to collect from your customers when they are checking out. Okay, once they are booking your hotel, these are the informations that you need. If you need to add anyone, you can say add new checkout feed. Now, if you are creating yours and when you are checking out, this checkout feed is not showing up, just come over this page and try to go through each of them and to confirm that they are active. Okay, and then just go ahead and update them. Then it will show up on your when you're checking out. Okay, so that is one of the challenges you might want to experience if at all you do. So away from this checkout feed, then we have sync calendar. So if you want to synchronize your calendar, you can see synchronize your booking across all online channels like booking.com, TripAdvisor, Airbnb, and the likes. So this is where you can do that. Okay, so away from that, then we also have reports. So you want to see reports of some total bookings that were confirmed, pending, cancelled, and everything. You know, there are a lot of things that you can use to check out some of these reports. You can also export some of these reports. Okay, if you want to export them, you want to download, you can see you can generate them as a CSV file, right? So maybe you want to just for any record purpose or whatsoever. All right. So with that, now we've looked at all the options under booking and what they are used for. All right. So with that, now let's go to the next part of this video. So let me come back to my dashboard. The next thing we want to look at now is pages. So how do you create page? How do you go ahead to edit or modify some of the pages that has already been created? So I'm currently on pages, and you can see right there, by virtue of the demo that we imported, some of these pages has already been created for us. Okay, but if for any reason whatsoever you want to create your own page, or you want to edit some of the information on some of these pages that were created, how do you go ahead to do that? So now let's start with creating a page. Okay, so now you see that at the beginning of somewhere at the beginning of the video, there was I think I'll show it on the screen. There was an information that was telling us that we should create a certain page, maybe like the checkout page or the cart page, all right? And for example, you will see it right here. Okay, but this was created using WooCommerce, and then we won't be using this WooCommerce plugin was what created this checkout page, not the hotel booking theme itself. All right. So now if you want to create your own page, what we could have done then was to click on the install pages. The options was there earlier, but I didn't do that. So let's say in addition to that, or any other page that you want to create, so what you do is you come over to this accommodation where we have this shortcode. It's to show you a list of shortcodes, because some of these pages were created using shortcode. Let me show you something now. For example, if I should click on this checkout now and I should open it up, I click on edit. Okay, so you see this is a checkout page. It's showing a square bracket WooCommerce _ checkout. So just this code will create a checkout page for WooCommerce, and then this is my account page that was created also, but this is working with WooCommerce. Okay, and then let's see which other page. Okay, this is my account page. But then what if you want to create the one that is for the booking theme itself? Okay, the hotelier theme that we downloaded. So what you do is under this short code, I say I want to create a checkout page, so I just search for checkout, and this is the short code here. You can see it here. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this. Okay, so I'll just copy it, then I'll come over to pages, then I'll click on add page. So I'll just give it a name, checkout. Right, then I'll just paste in that code here. Right, then I'll go ahead and publish. There are some other options here which we might not need. Just go ahead and just publish and then publish. Okay, so with this now we've created a checkout page. So let me show you what the page looks like in a new tab. We've created a checkout page, so I can now go back. So you can see this is the checkout page. Once it starts functioning, you see how it works properly. All right, and then another one that you might want to create. So the same way I've done this, you go ahead and create maybe the account. So let me search for accounts. So you can see customer account. So instead of using the one from WooCommerce, because we won't be using the WooCommerce add-on, so I can copy this. I'll come back to pages, add page. So I'll give it the title account, and then I'll paste in this short code, and then I go ahead and publish. All right, so those are some page that you can create using short code. Also, if you need to create some other pages that are not requiring short code, you might want to create a page using Elementor page builder. Let's see, maybe I want to create a do I have a FAQ page? So let's say I want to create a page, or for example, now you see this wellness restaurant and every other thing. You can see if I want to view it now. I've showed you earlier, but let me just show you again. So you can see it here. For example, this page was created, but this was created using Elementor page builder. All right, so if you want to create something like this now, you just come over to pages, and then you click on add page. For example, now this page now was created using Elementor page builder. So that's another way you can create a page. So I can just give this, maybe I want to create an FAQ page, for example. It could be any page, okay? To be any page you want to create on your website. So once I do that, I'll come to default templates. I'll change it to Elementor full width. All right, so once that is done, I'll just go ahead and publish this. So once that has been published, so I'll click on this option that edit with Elementor. All right, so with this now, you're going to use Elementor page builder to create your FAQ page. So it could be any page. All right, so I've shared with you two ways you can create a page. You can use shortcode, and then you can use Elementor page builder. All right, so this page will open up, and from here you can use all of these options to start creating whatever page you want to create. So we are still going to come back. I'm still going to walk you through Elementor in case if you are new to Elementor page builder. Now, in addition to selecting the templates that you want to use, especially if you want to use Elementor, if you scroll down to, you see different page options here. You can see make menu transparent. You can turn this on, hide default page header. All right, so it depends on how you want your page to appear. Okay, so I can't tell you if you should enable it or disable it, but what I'll say is enable it. Go to your page, check out how it looks like. If it fits the kind of layout or design that you want, you leave it checked. If you don't want it, you cannot check it. Okay, so these are some other, you can say optional, but it all depends on what you intend to achieve. Okay, so any changes that you make, just don't forget to always save. All right, so now let me come back to pages. So before we continue with pages, now remember that I've just created a new page for account and checkouts. Okay, so let me just come back to under accommodations, and then you come to settings. Okay, and then under general, let me update the checkout page. So this is the one we've just created. This is the third one, and then my account, the one we just created now, is called account. So this is it right here. So that's the one I want to use because I'm not using WooCommerce for those. So I want to use the one for the theme itself, which I've showed you how to create. All right, so again, don't forget, check out this, go through this short code. If there's any other page you want to create, just make sure that this is the short code you are going to use for them. All right, you can see if you want to use, if you need accommodation rates page, or maybe even if you don't need the entire page, maybe you just need it, you can copy this code and paste it into your what's it called, into your Elementor page builder section. Also, you can see this short code for service listing. There's a short code for accommodation types, and then availability search. Okay, so now I'm back to pages. Okay, so now let's look at this about us page. Let me show you. I think I've showed you earlier what the about us page. What if you want to edit this about us page, all right, to fit your own kind of information? Now there are two things you can do. You can create yours all over from scratch. Maybe you have a different layout or different concepts that you want to use for your about us page. But then if you want to just maintain this and you just want to update the information, for example, here it's showing welcome to Hotelia Resort and Wellness Spa. I can decide to change it to welcome to PA Hotels. All right, so how do you do that? Once the page opens up, you just click on this edit with Elementor. All right, and it will open up. Or from here, you can also see the option here, edit with Elementor. If you click it also, it will also show something like this. So let it open up. Once the page opens up like this, okay, now basically let me just walk you through what you are seeing on the screen. If you open up any page with Elementor page builder, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see the page right here, okay, and then you're going to see all of these options right here. So this is to show you what the page will look like on desktop, right, and this is to show you what the page will look like on tablets. Okay, so you can see, and it's a responsive design, so you can see it. Then while on mobile, this is to show you what it will look like on mobile. All right, so the aim of this is that sometimes if you set it to desktop and then you do all your design, your text, and then your formatting, it will look good. But once you put it to mobile, you see that it's not, maybe the text might be too big, the image is not properly aligned, and the like. So that is why all of this option is there, so that you can switch between pages. Okay, so if you over all of this, all right, you're going to see them. For example, if I click on this, it's showing me that this was created using animated text. If I should click here now, this was created using a text editor, like you can see a text editor. All right, so now let me walk you through this also. If you make any changes here, this option to publish will appear. That's like you want to save. Okay, that's another word I can call it. Maybe you want to save. This is preview. If you make any changes and you want to preview it, you click here, and this is called the structure. The structure is to show you the different section of that particular page. For example, this has about 6 sections. If I want to go here, once I click on it, take me to this section. All right, and one thing about it is if you open it up, you're going to see the different columns and different elements or widgets that makes up that section. Another advantage of it is that you might have some kind of like complex layouts that it will be difficult for you to pick, but with the help of this structure, you'll be able to locate them, and then it just gives you an idea of how everything is being structured. Okay, so if you don't want it, you can just click it, it appears and it appears, and if you want it to be somewhere, you can just drag it here to be on this panel. But personally, I like it floating around so that I can have more space to work with. Then over here we have this history button. If you want to undo certain things, just click something before that, and then it will just undo that for you. Okay, so that is it for that history. So if you come here to add element, so this is where you can pick from all of these elements right here. Now you will not need everything. We have heading, you want to bring in image, just drag it to where you want to use it. If you want to bring in maybe a YouTube video, all right, if you want to bring in a text editor, button, spacer, and a list of other things, all right, you'll be able to do that with this. But then if you want to edit all the any information, just click on it. For example, here we have welcome to Hotel Resort and wellness spa. So if I should click on it, I just want to change this to, let's say, PA hotels and PA hotels and wellness spa. All right, something like this. So you can go ahead now. Once you select any of this, you are using animated text. You are going to see the option of content, style, and advanced. All right, under content, you are going to have all of this depending on the elements that you are working with. If you look on the element that you are working with, all right, then if you come to style basically is where you are going to do your color, your typography. If I should click here now, maybe I want the font size, it's currently set to 60. If I want to increase it, okay, so you can see you can do all of those right there. So let me turn it back to 60. Then you also have the option to adjust the weight, the line spacing, the letter spacing, and the word spacing. All these options are available under style. Advanced, there are some other options here which I won't be going. Okay, so this was like a walkthrough on how to do some basic modification under using Elementor. If you want a comprehensive video, I have a separate video that will walk you through everything about Elementor Page Builder. The same thing applies here. Once you click here, you can just use that to update this particular information. If you come over to style, you can change the alignment, you can change the typography. If you want to add the text shadow, for example, you can see, and if you don't want it to just return back to default. Text color, you can change that. If there's a link here, this is where you can set the color. All right, and this is an image. If you click on it now, you can see this is the image. If you need to change it, just click on it, and then you can choose from every other images here. If you need to bring in a new image also, you can just click the option of uploading image, and then you can select it, or you can drag it from your computer here, and then the image will come in. Okay, so let me just close this. And away from that also, if you come to style, there are different options here. You can adjust the width and then the opacity also. You can do all of this. If you want to add a box shadow, once you enable it, you can see the shadow is showing up. I don't want it, I undo it. So if you also come to advanced, you can set up the margin. All right, so if I should increase this now, you can see it is moving it downwards. If I should use it, it's taking it up. So you can play around with the margin, the padding, and all of these options. So that's how you can go ahead and do that. If I click here too, I'll be able to change this information right here. For example, showing 60 rooms. Maybe I'll just want to change the value. This was created using, let's see. Okay, I've mistakenly cleared this. So let me bring it back. I come to history and then I click here. Okay, so let me just type it back. 60 rooms. Okay, the rooms is still there. All right. So let me just publish. All right, if I publish and refer, this is it right here. The rooms is still there. So 60 rooms. Okay, so I want to just change it to, let's say maybe I want to say, okay, 50 rooms. So you can see that is how it works. 120 staffs and the likes, right? So, and then like, let me bring back this structure now. If I should bring back this structure, this is it right here. So if I should click on this particular structure, so this is it here. So this structure here, if you also want to edit anything that has to do with this structure, or this section rather. So once I click on it, you can see you can have it box under style. You can set the background. You can see the background is set to black. All right. And then there's something that is, you can see this curve that is happening here. It is under shape divider. So it's only at the top. If you want to use something different, you can see we have different types right here. Let's see the one that was used here. This is it here. This is the one that was used. Okay, I've undo it back so you can see it right here. And it has, if you want to increase the width, so you can see it right here. You want to increase the height. Okay, so all of these options are available to you. If you should click here now, you can see these rooms that is showing. It was an accommodation type carousel that was dragged here. All right. So if you want to create, you can see even this one was also done using a short code. You can see this contact form using a short code. So you click here. If you want to update this contact phone number, once you click here, you can update the phone number. This meets, you can use it to update your address, and then you connect to your social icon. Now, if you want to bring in a new section, you can see this plus here. Just click on plus. You can select maybe Flexbox. Select the layout. Maybe you want it to be this. Then you click on it. So this is it right here. Now you can go ahead and bring in any of these widgets that you want to bring in. Okay, so maybe you want to bring in an heading. Click on it, you drag it in. So you can see the heading here. And then you can style it. This is where you put in the text. You come to style. If you want it to be at the center, you select your typography. You can select your size. Okay, and then once you are okay with that, maybe you want to bring in something else. Let's see. Let me search for something that is related to the hotel. Let's see accommodation. So let me have accommodation types now. I can just still drag it under it. Okay, so you can see. So let me just close this guy. So you can see the accommodation types are show up. There are different styles. Maybe I want style 2. Let's see what style 2 looks like. Okay, and let's see what style 1 looks like. Okay, all right, so you can see the difference right there, and then you are going to have different options there. So that is how, this is just a brief summary of how to edit some of the pages using Elementor Page Builder. So let me just go ahead and close this. Okay, so once you are done, don't forget to always publish the same way we did for this About Us page. If I should go to the home page also, I can do that from here. If I click here, okay, it's not showing my home page here, but if you're on the home page, just like we have here, and you can see edit with Elementor. Once I click on edit with Elementor, it will also take me to the Elementor page for our home page. Once the page opens up, so you can see living your lifestyle. If you click here now, you can see you can change the text to Dubai most private and secluded resorts. Once you click here, you can change the information. Now for this background image, if you need to change it, once I click on these 6 dots, you can see edit section. So I come to style, and then you can see this image that you are seeing at the background. All right, so if you don't want image, you can also use gradient. You can also use video. If you want a video to show up in your background, you select video. So you put in a link to that particular video that you want to show in the background. All right, but if it's classic, you can also do this. You can also do slideshow. Slideshow means you can add list of images that will just be sliding. You can see, you can maybe, so you can add slide, it can fade or slide up or slide down. All right, so that's how to modify that. So you can see now this has updated itself to guests instead of showing children and adults. So here also, if you just click on it, you can also change the information to suit yours. All right, now this our rooms. This is the accommodation type carousel. Once you click on it, if you look at it, there are different ways it can appear. We have the square layout. So let's see. Under we have square, we have portraits, and then we have the original. So you can choose the image dimension. Okay, let me just choose a landscape. And then I'm in the one display currently showing 2 because you can see it is showing 2 right here. Autoplay, that means if you want to scroll, it will also do that for you. All right, away from that, if you can see this section right here, this was created using service grid. All right, so that's it. It was created using service. If you click on it now, you can see on this wellness and spa, you can see this is the featured image. We didn't really use icon, so that's why. And then this is the title, wellness and spa. And then this is the text that is showing when you hover over it. All right, so these effects that it is creating when you hover over it, if you come to style, okay, if you want to add the title and the description, the colors and typography, this is where you can edit it. You also have these other options right here. Okay, so this also, once you click on it, you'll be able to do that. For this button, this learn more, you can send it to your, maybe to your About Us page or something. So you just put in the link right here, you can see, or you just look for it, type, let me see, about. All right, so you can see it to show whatever page you want to link it to. So with this now, I'm linking it to our About Us page. Once they click on this learn more, right? And don't forget to always update this top. Maybe you want to change this top to colors, you can do that. This meets to our location or address, or if you want to maintain the text, just update your address and then the likes. Don't forget to always publish. So with that now, that's how you can go ahead to create your page. I've showed you how to create a page using Shortcode, and I've also shown you how to create a page using Elementor. And if you also want to edit any of the pages that you already have created, All right, so this is how you can go about doing that. So now let's come back to our dashboard. So guys, please give the video a thumbs up if you're finding a lot of value in it, and don't forget to click on that subscribe button to subscribe. So now let's head to the next part of this video, which is the menu. It's not yet showing us any menu. All right, so you can see we are not seeing any menu for now. Okay, but I'll still show you where to set up the menu. It will still show up, but let's see. So if you want to work on your menu, you want to create menu, so just come over to appearance, and then you see this option for menu here. So just go ahead and click on menu. Now, by virtue of the demo that we also imported, some menu were already created, which is we have this main menu left, which consists of the home, our rooms. Under it, we have this sub menu. We also look here, we also have main menu right. If I click on select, and then we are going to be having this restaurant, wellness, and contact us. All right. So we've not assigned this to any page or any section of our website. That is why it is not yet showing on the website itself. Okay. But for example, now let me just do this now. For example, if I want to use this menu, this main menu right, to show as our primary menu. So if I select this as primary menu and I save. So now that this has been saved as our primary menu, if I should come to our website and refresh, so you can see it here that is already showing up. This is restaurants, wellness, and contacts. Okay, so you can see that right here. However, that's not where I want us to do it. So that's why I'm not selecting it from here. So I can just go ahead, let me just uncheck it and save. Okay, but then if you want to create a menu, you create your menu basically from the pages that you created. All right, and you can create, let's say, for example, now we currently have menu left, menu right, main menu. Let's say I want to create a new menu. I can just click here and create a new menu. So I can call this menu, let's say I want to call it footer menu. So maybe this is the menu that I want to appear somewhere in the footer. I can just give it a name. I just go ahead and click on create. Don't select anything here. So next thing is you come over here where we have pages. Just go ahead and view all. Then you select the list of pages that you want them to appear under this menu. So maybe, for example, I want the terms and condition page. I also want FAQ, contacts, and then let's see, and home. All right. So then once I've selected, I'll click on add to menu. Okay, you can see it will appear here. Apart from pages too, we can also use posts. Depending on the kind of menu you are creating, we can use post. You can use custom link. Maybe I want it to link to a particular page, either within the website or outside the website. I'll paste the link and the text that I want it to show. I'll just write the text here and I'll click on add to menu. You can use category also, okay, to do that, to create a menu. Now, once this menu has been created, you can also rearrange them. Maybe I want my contact us to come next. So you can see you can drag it up or down. And if you move it to the right like this, maybe this now, I move it like this, that means it will become a sub menu under FAQ. All right, so that's the menu. So once you are done, just go ahead and save menu. All right, so that's how you can create your menu. Like I said, you can have as many menu as possible. So this is where you create your menu. All right, so now with that, now let's come over to, now we've looked at, so far we've looked at media post pages. Now let's look at this header, footer, mega menu, and full screen menu. So now let's start with the header option. So let me open up header. So if I should click here and I open up header. So now I've opened up header. By default, also we also have three headers, different headers has been created. We have the header sticky, and header transparent. Now the header is the default header. So if I come here and I click on view, so this is that of the header. All right, you can see this is one of the menu on the left, this is another one on the right, and then we have the logo at the right, I mean at the center rather. And then we also have the header sticky. Now the meaning of this sticky header is these are the header that will show up on once you scroll down a page. For example, you can see that this is one header. If I should scroll down, you can see that another header is showing up. All right, this is the sticky header. When they say something has a sticky header, that means it should stay on the page even if you are scrolling through that page. All right, so that's the sticky header. And then we have the third type, which is a transparent header. So let me show you that transparent header. You can see the background doesn't have any color. Okay, that's a transparent header. Now these ones were created by default. If you want to create something different or a different layout or a different design for this header, so from here you can see this option, edit with Elementor. So just go ahead and open any of them, and that is how you can also update the design. Let me just use this as an example. For example, with this now, they just created 3 sections. So you can see this is one section, this is section 2, and then 3 is 3 column rather. I mean 3 column, not section. All right, and what did they do? Let's try to recreate what we have here. So if I should click on this plus and then I click on this flex box, and then I can choose to use this right here. Okay, so you can see this is 3 column. I can adjust the size here. Maybe I want this to be, let's say, what's the size here? This is 30. All right, so what I'll do is, this was created using image. So what I'll do is I'll click on plus and then I'll look for image. So I'll look for image. So this is image right here. I'll just bring it in here and then I click here, and then from the media library, I think this is it right here. Then I select, okay, so just go ahead and reduce the size or something. So then for this that was created using the navigation menu, so I'm just going to click on plus and then look for navigation menu, this, and then I'll drag it in here, and then I'm going to select navigation design menu I want to use. This will be menu left. All right, so you can see it's right here, home, our rooms, and then about us. All right, so there are different customization options available here. You can select the arrow, the typography, how do you want it to, the animation. For example, if I over here, you can see it's showing a black underline, right? And then you can see an animated line, animated tick line, change font color. Maybe if I over it, it should change the font color. Then the style, you can see the font color, the over color, and all of this. So once you modify this, you'll be able to achieve what we have here. Okay, but that's just how it is. So you can also have a different, concept. So for example, you might want to create your own menu to be maybe something like this, maybe where you have just your logo here. Let me copy this and then paste. Okay, maybe you just have your logo and then you can just copy. Let me just copy this. So you can also do copy and paste for when you're working with Elementor, and then I paste this here. So, and then you have a list of menus right here. Okay, you can, it all depends on you. All right, so let me just close it. So we're going to maintain this. This is how you can just go. You just click on this and then you can change your logo. All right, so just click here and then you change the logo, and then you click here. If you have a different menu options, remember I've just showed you how to create menu. You come here and then you select. You can see the footer menu we just created. So if I should select this now, you can see all these menu items that we added will show up. Now this sub menu, you can see this is showing me a background color. It's under sub menu. If I come to style, I come to sub menu color. So you can see the background color is set to this particular color, and that's why you are seeing a sub menu with this color and then the font color. So all of these customization options are available to you. So let me return this to the menu that was there before. This should be menu left. Okay, so once you do that, you can just go ahead and then publish if at all you make any changes to this. All right, so that is it on header. The same thing you're going to do to header sticker. What's it called? So yeah, header sticky, then header transparent if you need to change it. Okay, so now let's come to the footer section. So if I should click on footer, also we also have just one footer. All right, so if I should show, let's view it. So let me open up the view, and then let me also click here to edit with Elementor in case we need to edit it. All right, so this is our footer right here. So this is what our footer looks like. This was one that was created by default. You can also have, a custom kind of footer. You can create yours. Okay, so if you want to edit it, you can just come, once you open it up like this, you can see, if you look up here, you see it here, your domain info /footer. All right, here you click on edit with Elementor, you'll be able to edit this. I've clicked it already, so you can see it here. So once I click here, I'll be able to change the logo. If I click here, I'll be able to change maybe our contact information, our phone number, and our email. If I click here now, I'll be able to change our address, and then all of these pages, superior room. So make sure you come here and update this link. So maybe just in case you didn't use the same terms as they use here, where they use superior room, deluxe room, signature room. So this is where you can change it. Make sure you update this link to link to all of these rooms or the pages for these rooms. Okay. And then you also do this about explain. Now, you can also get ideas from other hotel websites to know how you can create your footer. All right. So in case you want to use something different, this is a social icon. Once you click on each of them, paste the link to all of this social icon that applies to you. This copyright text, if you click on it also, you'll be able to change the text. This is icon list for terms and condition. The link, make sure you link to your terms. Let me look for it. So I just look for terms and to show up terms and condition. Then the other one is a privacy policy. If I click here for the link now, privacy. Let's see if we have a page for privacy policy page. Okay, I can't really find it, so let me just link it here. So that is how you can go ahead to update your footer also. If I should click on these 6 dots now, I can also change the background. So if I should come to style, you can see I can change the background. I can have a background overlay. I can also have, different thing. I can add an image to the background also. I'm coming before I add before I add image, let me copy this color. So let's say I want to copy, I've copied the color already. So let's say I want to add an image to the background. Let me look for something that's, maybe I want to use this. So you can see I've added it to the background. The image is not showing, the text is not showing properly. So I can add a background overlay. So this is it right here. Then I select a classic color. So let me use this so you can see. Then I increase the opacity. So these are not, these is just a different concepts that you can use. Okay. So then the image itself, we'll play around with the image. So the image position, maybe I want it to be center. Okay, so maybe I want it to be center. Let's see. No, say not center right. Okay, center top. No, center or bottom center. All right, that's fine. Okay, so it all depends on you. Then you just go ahead and publish. Okay, and then you can do whatever you want to do here also. So with that now, we've been able to, let me come back to our dashboard. So if you want to create a different type of footer too, you can see there's an option to add a new footer. Okay, so you can also create your own custom kind of footer. Maybe you want to do a 4-column footer, a 3-column footer, or 5-column footer. It all depends on you. Okay, so you can just be creative with your footer design. All right, so the next one is mega menu and full screen. So on that mega menu, actually they do use mega menu in this website, but if you want to create a mega menu, so just come over here and then you click on add your mega menu, and then you create it with Elementor. So you can see once you add a title to your menu, you create it with Elementor Page Builder. All right, now this theme itself comes with a whole lot of feature. I need to emphasize on that, and it is not compulsory to use everything. All right, another thing is this full screen. If you choose to want to use full screen also, there's an option for it that you want to create a full screen. Now the meaning of that full screen is maybe if you're on your page, for example, and then you can just select an hamburger menu and all the menu will just show up here. It will take the entire screen. That's a full screen menu. All right, so if that is what you want, you can just give it a title, go ahead and create it using Elementor Page Builder. So guys, thank you for watching this far. So far we've covered a lot. We are not done yet, but we've covered a larger part of this video. But still, I want you to watch the remaining part of this video because there are still some key things that I still want to share with you. So let me know what you feel so far with what I've shared with you in the course of this video. So go ahead now and drop a comment in the comment section of this video. And while doing that, do make sure you also give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are yet to. So let me have your thoughts. Let me have your review so far with what we've looked at in this video. All right. So next thing we want to look at now is the customization option. Okay, so if you should scroll down under appearance, you see customize. So go ahead and click on customize. So once this opens up, you're going to see your own page will show up like this, and then you're going to see all of these options. So we are going to go through them one after the other to see what this will going to do to our website. So starting off, we have site identity. So if I click on site identity, this is where we can put in our site title and then our tagline. Remember, we did this earlier under settings, on general settings. All right, and this is the site icon. Remember, I mentioned this earlier that I'm going to show you a separate place where you can put in your site icon. So I'll select this, and then you can see currently, if you look here now, you can see I'm seeing this globe icon here, okay, instead of showing our logo. All right, so to do that, now let me just use this. Okay, so you can see it's right here. Then I'll click on select. Then I can just keep cropping because if size is okay, and then I go ahead and click on publish. Okay, so with that now, if I should scroll, now you see that it's there already because I'm using a dark theme. That's for my browser. That's why you're not seeing it, but it's there right now compared to this. Okay, so you can see it here. Okay, so that's how to add your site icon. So let's move away from here. Now, the next thing is site logo. So this is where you're going to upload your Rectina logo and then your Rectina transparent logo. So make sure you read what is showing you here. That Retina ready image logo, it should be 2 times size of the normal logo. For example, 200 by 60 pixel logo will display at 100 by 30. So go ahead and put in your logo here. So let me just select some images here. Let me just use this as my Retina logo. Then for the transparent logo, let me go ahead and use this for the transparent logo. All right. So don't forget, always publish. All right. And again, once you are making changes right here, okay, we'll still go there, get there. If you're making any changes and you're not seeing the effect, please just revert it. You can see the logo we just uploaded. It has shown up here. All right. And then you see what just happened. If I should scroll down, you can see I'm seeing a different one here. Okay. All right. So under general, let's come over to general. So this is for image. Right, I don't think we might need to uncheck anything here. Enable image dragging protection, rights. Now there are some things here that you might not need to adjust. I need to emphasize that, but I will just try as much as possible to go through them, just in case you need to, do something here. Right, and again, if you make any changes here and you're not seeing the changes on the page, because once you are making any change here, you're going to be seeing it live right here. Just like when I added the logo appeared here. So if you are making any change on this customization part and you are not seeing the effects, please, I would advise you to just undo it, okay? So that you don't just do something you are not sure of. In case you just do a change and you can't remember where you did that change, because it happens a lot. So now let's come back here. Then for fonts, this is where if you want to, okay, enable type, this is disabled. So let me just leave it like that. Then for typography, for every other typography on the website, is where you can just adjust that or change it. Then we also have background and color. Okay, so you can see main content background color is set to this shade of white. So let's say, for example, if I change it to red now, so you can see it here. You can see that our website has changed to red. Okay, so maybe if I select a separate color, so you can see it right here. So let me return it back to white. So if you want to change the box content background, this has to do with header, font, color, and the likes. Okay, so let me come back here. And then we have the input and button elements. So this is for buttons, right? So you can see this input and text focus color is set to blue, and then input and text area fonts. Now, maybe on our checkout page now, you're going to see it very well, right? So this is where you can change all of this color, button over border color. Now, once we are on our checkout page, you will see that there's a blue color here. If you don't want that blue, this is where you can change it. Yeah, button over color, and then this button background color, and then button border color. All of this about the button. This is where you can change that. All right. So let's move away from here, away from general. The next is navigation. So then the first option here, we have general. So if I should click on general now, so this is the header content settings. Now enable sticky header. All right, so it's already enabled. Now if I should enable it now, you see what will happen. If I try to scroll down, so you can see that header that you are seeing before is no longer showing. All right, so I want it here, so I can decide to enable it. Now you can decide not to enable it. It's a matter of preference, but this is where the option is. Okay, so display header content from. So I want to display it from. I want to choose this option from the header content. So you can see it has taken off the previous header that is there. So now I'm going to select the default header content. Now default header content, I want it to be header. All right, so default sticker header content, I want to select the header sticker. Now remember this option that I showed you earlier. And then the default transparent header content, I want it to be header transparent. Okay, so with this now I can go ahead and publish it, and let's see what it looks like. So now you can see it has appeared like this. You can see we have our menu here, we have our logo and this here. Now the other options here where you can also do your menu layout is currently set to left. If you, let's say I want to choose some other option, let's see what happens. So that's part of what I'm saying, that if you are making any changes on this customization, make sure you are seeing the changes live on the page or the website itself, depending on what you are working on. Okay, so let me just return this to live hamburger menu plus full screen. So this is the option. If in case you set up full screen, you can see it here. This is the option that you will need to go for if you set up full screen. Now show cards icon. Now this is not showing up because this particular header has overwritten this, but basically you're not going to be needing it. Okay, all right, so you can see this hamburger is what is making it to disappear, right? So let me just return it back to left align. All right, so let me just disable this. Let me disable this, even though we are not, it's not functional again. right? So don't forget to always publish when you make any of those changes. So let me go back away from general. We also have typography. All right, so this is where you are going to set up the typography for your menu. You can see menu font typography. This is it right here. If you should increase it, you're going to see it's going to grow bigger here. All right, but I want to leave it the way it is. So away from the typography, we also have color. Our main menu color is set to white, and then you can see it right here. Menu font color, menu background color is set to white, and then all this, then the cat's background is set to blue. Remember when the blue cat was there? Okay, so I'm just leaving this the way it is. Then the sub menu, also for the colors and everything, for the sub menu background color, right? But remember that this was created using Elementor, so this option might not really work. All right, so you need to take note of that. Okay, remember that this menu was created using Elementor under the header section. That means, under this header here. Okay, then we have the mega menu. We didn't use mega menu, so we might just need to skip this. Then the top bar. So this here is for the top bar. It's currently disabled, all right, but if you want to enable it, you can just turn it on. It will just show a bar at the top of this menu right here. So away from that, we also have the contact info. So make sure you update this contact address, and then this working hours, and then the contact phone numbers. There are certain part of the website that it will show up. So this is where you can change. You can see it will also show up on the top bar. If you enable the top bar, this is the information that will show up there: your contact address, your hours, and then the phone number. Okay, so away from that, also we also have the side menu. Enable side menu on desktop display. So you might just need to leave this the way, but if you need to just choose to, you can just turn that on. Then we also have full screen menu. Now we didn't use the option for full screen menu, but if you use the full screen menu, you can come here to select the full screen menu that you want to use and how you want it to appear. Okay, so away from that, the next one is for header. So for the background header, okay, and then the page title. Okay, now this header, let me show you where this header comes into play. Under headers, let me open one of those pages for you. So I'm on this search results page, and this is one of the header here. You can see page header background color is set to white. So if I should change it to a different color, now let's say I use it, you can see this is the section that is working for this header. All right, so if you need to change it, this is where you're going to change it. The same thing to applies to if you're on the checkout page, if you're on all those other pages like this that has this kind of header. All right, so this is where you can change the color. So let me return it back to the default. Then we also have the page title, which is this text you are seeing here. If you need to change, you can see it's currently at the center here. If I move to select right, it moves to the right. Left, it moves to the left. Okay, so you can see it right here. That is, everything here has to do with the header. You can see page title font color. This is it here. If you change the color to something different, let me copy this color code so that I can retain it. So you can see if I change it to red, you can see it here. So just in case you need to, that is where you can do all of those. Then we have the page tagline and subtitle. So if you use subtitle also, this is where you can change everything about that. All right, then next is for sidebar. So the same thing, the sidebar, enable sticky sidebar. This is enabled. So if I should scroll down now, you'll notice that this sidebar it remains there. That's because this sticky sidebar is enabled. All right, it is a long page, but this is the only information on the sidebar, so it will remain sticky. Okay, so to make sure this is turned on, it makes a lot of sense that way. Then away from that, then you can also work on the typography for this sidebar. This is it here. And if you want to change any of the color, all right, sidebar font colors, over link button. Okay, so you can also do that from here. Now if you look at, if I over here, it's changing to blue. Remember when we were looking at colors for the website, there's an option for blue here. So that blue is what is working right here. Okay, so away from sidebar, the next one we have is our footer. Okay, so if you should scroll down to our website, you see that this is the footer that is there, not the footer we created earlier. So let's come to general, and then the footer we want to use footer content settings. We want to use this footer, so I've selected this footer. All right, so let's see. Okay, so we're also going to select that footer content, display footer content from footer content. Okay. All right, so you can see it now. So we have changed this from this sidebar to footer content. I will select the type of footer that we want. And remember this footer that we created using Elementor Page Builder. You can see it here. All right. So if you want to put in a footer retina logo, go ahead and upload it. and then this won't apply anymore because we're already using a custom kind of footer. Okay, so let's just go ahead and publish some of the things that we've done so far. So away from this, we also have colors. If you need the footer color, now this might not need to work again because we're already using all of this. Remember that everything here was done using Elementor, so it has overwritten all of these settings here. Okay, so let's go back, and then the copyright text. Okay, so this is copyright text. It is not done here. Let me just put some random. You can see it here. It's not showing. This was done using Elementor, so it's not. This is not working for it anymore. All right, so I can just move away from here, and then the next one is for blog. So this is where you're going to do all the settings that has to do with your blog. Or make sure you're on the blog page. Now the blog page, we didn't create the blog page earlier. I hope I'll still remember. I'm still going to show you how to create that. But this is how you can set up your blog page. All right, if you want to do anything that has to do with blog, then the typography for your blog page, you can select it from here. And then your single post, how you want your single post to appear. Make sure you're on the blog page when you are going through all of these settings to do that. All right, then for accommodation, so single accommodation, display room content navigation, all these are turned on. There are other grid other rooms grid layout. We have style 1 and then we have style 2. Right, so I'm not currently on the accommodation page, so we can't really see it. Now the progress bar, I always like to turn this on. Okay, I'm going to show you once we are doing okay, so once we are doing, you can see this right here. Okay, it's showing up here. Okay, so the progress bar, this is it. Okay, booking bar default. All right, and then you can play around with the colors. So away from this, we also have the search results, which is this page. Now this search results, this is how do you want it to show. It's currently set to classic, so if I should change it to list view, okay, so let's see. So this is what the list view looks like. All right, it's a matter of preference. Then there is this other one, the grid view. So this is how the grid view looks like. Okay, so you can choose any of these view that that fits your style. All right, it all depends on you, but you can just play around with them and decide which one you want to use. Okay, so whichever view you are cool with, just set it there. All right, so away from that, we also have currency. Okay, so 1000 separator with comma, then decimal for decimal separator full stop. All right, that's fine. So let me publish that so far. So away from that, the next one is shop. Now we don't really have anything to do here with shop, so let's come out of here. Then for pages, templates, let's see, for 404 page, we don't have any templates for that, so you can just leave it like that. But if you create a separate page for 404 page, you can select it. Then for menu, so we've already selected, let me see. So for foot, this is where you're going to do the allocation for all the menus. So for footer menu, this is our footer menu. Where do you want it to appear? You can select it right here. Then your main menu left, wherever you want it to appear. But then we've already done that under header itself. Okay, so but you can also do it here. This is for main menu left. We want it to be, maybe that should be the secondary menu. And then we also have the main menu right. So I think that should be the primary menu. Okay, right. So just go ahead and publish this so far. So away from that, then if you also scroll down, we also have this option for widgets. Now for this widget, our reservation sidebar, these are the information that are there, but I like to do my widget from a different place. We are still going to look at that next. So let me just leave this widget alone. Now, home page settings, this, remember we were here earlier to set up our home page. Now for this post page, this is where we have to select blog, but we are here to create a blog page. So to do that is very simple. You just come over to pages, click on add page. For the title, just put in blog. All right, then just publish. You don't really need to do anything. Just put in blog and go ahead and publish. Once that is done, you come back to customize. We need to refresh this page so that the page can appear here. So I'll just go ahead and refresh. All right, so now I've come back here, post pages, then I can go ahead and select blog. Okay, this is it, and then I go ahead and publish. So once I create any post, it will automatically come to the blog page. So you can see this is our blog page. Okay, so I can come back here. Now, if you come back to blog now, you'll be able to set up everything that has to do with blog. Okay, so you can see the layout and everything. You'll be able to do that. Okay, and then away from blog, the next option that we have here is okay, WooCommerce. All right. So since we are not making use of WooCommerce, I'll just leave all of these options here. Then we have additional CSS. So if you're familiar with CSS and then you want to add some custom style sheet code, you can put it right here. So with this now, we've gone through all the options under customize. So once you are done, you can X out of this to return back to your dashboard. So we are back again to our dashboard. So now let's look at the widget I talked about earlier. So if you come over to appearance, so from appearance, you're going to see the option for widget right here. So just go ahead and click on it. And this is where you are going to set up all of your widgets. So you can see page sidebar. So we have all of these, the block sidebar. So let's start with this block sidebar. If you should open it. So for our block sidebar now, there's nothing there. If you want to add anything to your block sidebar, so this is where you can just click on, okay, there's actually something there. There's a short code here, which is showing for archives. Okay, so it's showing a list of archives. If you don't want it, go ahead and just delete it. Okay, then we also have this block here. Let's see, this is also another short code for categories. Okay, so that means showing the list of categories on the block section. So then we have the contact sidebar, the category sidebar, the search sidebar, and then we have different sidebar, reservation sidebar. So under the reservation sidebar now, we have this hotel booking currency switcher. I think we saw that earlier. So this is it right here. We have search availability, and then we have our address. Okay, so under this our address, you can see you also need to come here and update this information right here. Okay, now away from this, now for example, this search sidebar now, there's nothing there. Let's say we want to put anything in any of this bar, so you can just look through all of this, or you can just simply drag any of them here. Maybe I want to have a custom recent post on this search sidebar. I can just drag it and place it here. That is one way. So let me just delete it. Okay, then, or maybe if I want to have this particular, let's see what they call it, widget, maybe this gallery widget, I want to have it on any side of the sidebar. Once I just, okay, click here, you can see I'll select where I want it to appear. Maybe I want it to appear on the search sidebar, and then I'll click on add widgets. Okay, so you can see it will appear there. Okay, and then I can add an image that I want to use on this section, and then I click on done. Okay, so let me just go ahead and delete it. So you'll see that there are a whole lot of widgets that you can actually choose from. You can see them here, and all the site that you want those widgets to be. So if you're on any page and you are seeing something on the sidebar and then you need to change them, so just come over to this widget section and then try to locate it, maybe on the single room sidebar, shop sidebar, reservation sidebar, booking confirmation sidebar. You can see right here it's showing questions about booking. So this is contact phone number. This is where you can update that. And then we also have this our address also. You also need to update it over here. All right. So that's it on widgets. I always prefer to do my widgets right here. So the next thing I want to show you now is users. So if I come over here to users, if I click on it right here, users, to show us the page for user. Right now, it will show you all the users on your website. I'm currently the only user here, which is the admin. So once people start signing up into the website, then the information will show up here. Now, how do you go ahead to add users? Basically, maybe you want to give someone else access to the backend of your website. Okay, that's one of the key things about this user, right? So you come over here to add user. So from here, you put in their username and their email. So to make it look more professional, you can add their first name, last name, and then you give them a password. All right. Now for the post of a role, all right, depending on the role you want to give them, but administrator is the highest role. So if you give somebody the role of an administrator, they have the same right and access as you. Okay. But then if you want to also give some other staffs access to the back end, so you can see we have hotel worker, hotel manager, and you might want to consider those. Okay, but they have different roles. Okay, administrator is the highest, editor, then next one is editor, author, and then contributor. For contributor now, they can create blog posts but they cannot publish. All right, so it now depends on you. Then once you are done, go ahead and then save. All right, so let me come back to all users again. So let me just leave this now. Now you see that I'm currently logged in as the admin, but then I want to change my username. You can see the display name rather is showing this, and I don't like it. I can just come here and click on edit. All right. So from that, I can change my color scheme. This is the default one. Maybe I want to change it to midnight. You can see it will change to something like this. Maybe if you have concern with colors, okay, but I'm always okay with the default. All right. Another thing that you might also want to change is then you can go in and put in your first name, your last name, all right, or maybe your nickname. All right, so maybe I want to change it to PA Hotels. PA Hotels. Then I'll come to display name publicly as, then I'll select this PA Hotels. Even if you put it as your first name and your last name to show you different combinations, and then you can see it at the upper right. It makes more sense like this. So you go ahead and fill in other information. You can put in your biographical info. You put in your profile picture. If you want to change your password, you can do that. And then if you want to log out from anywhere else that you've logged in, you can do so. So you can, because you are creating a hotel website that can allow people to do all of this custom billing, you can fill in all of this information and then just make sure you update. All right. So something similar to this that you also need to do is to come over to settings and then you go to general. So under general, where we have membership, remember we check this option. Now, new user default role, so you can set new because to customers, okay, to hotel customer, because most of the signups you are going to be getting on your website now are going to be customer, except maybe you want to edit it yourself. All right, so just update this to customer and then you go ahead and save that. So with that, let me come back to my dashboard. I'm back to the dashboard again. Now, before we go ahead and do some tests to show you how everything works and to confirm if everything is working fine, there's a part that, we've touched almost everything here. We've touched the major things here, apart from WooCommerce, because we actually didn't use it. The only part, like I said, that you might only need to use this WooCommerce is when you are using the payment gateway. That means if you are using a payment system that is not available, all right, so that's when you might consider using WooCommerce. Away from that, then for MailChimp for WordPress, that's if you want to use this MailChimp option, so just click on it and then you just need to connect it to your MailChimp account. So you can go over to MailChimp.com to create an account and then you can click here to get your API key. It's pretty much straightforward. Now, if we are using, if you want to use a payment gateway that is not available, all right, by this remember under accommodation when we're on settings and we're setting payment gateway. So once you come over to payments, all right, you'll be able to set up the kind of payments that you want to use. Okay, that's for WooCommerce payments. They have a whole lot of more list of or extensive payment gateway that you might want to use. And if you can't find it here, so what you just do is you just come over to plugins. Okay, let's see. Then you come over to plugins and download a plugin for whatever payment gateway that you want to use. Okay, for example, maybe you want to use Square Payment, then you can look for a plugin for Square Payment that allows Square Payment. If you want to use just any payment gateway, all right, and then you'll be fine. So that's Square Payment. I'm just using that as an example. There are a whole lot of other payment gateway that you might want to use. Okay, so just look for a plugin. Make sure you are using the right plugin that works for such payment. Okay, and then you'll be fine. Right. So with that being said, now let me just go ahead and open our website in a different browser so that we can explore all the options and try to do a text booking. So right now, open up the website in an incognito window, all right, in a separate browser. All right, so I want to go ahead and book for a room or accommodation. So you can see this is the one we created, the basic room. The image is actually bigger than the rest of them. That is why this place is not properly aligned. So that's another thing you need to take note. Once you are using image for your featured image, all right, or your display image for your accommodation, just make sure they are of the same size. Okay, I've clicked on it. So just make sure they are of the same size so that it can bring about consistency in the display. All right. So now to make a booking, now let's say I want to check my check-in date. So maybe I want to check in on this date, then I want to check out on the 23rd to on the 25th, and let's say we have 5. The total number of guests is 5, and I click on search. All right, so just to show you how the system works. All right, so now to show you can see 5 accommodation found from April 23 to April 26. Now remember that I said 5. Okay, the guests are 5. What it will do it will pick a particular accommodation that can it's a set of accommodations that can occupy the 5 guests that I selected. Now for this, now it brought out deluxe room which can accommodate a maximum of 3 guests, and then superior room that can accommodate a maximum of 2 guests. All right, so if you want to go with this, you can just go ahead and click on reserve, and it has added up the total for I think 23 to on the 26. That's I think 3 or 4 nights. So it has added up everything, giving me this total. All right, I can just go ahead and click on reserve. Alternatively, I can also go ahead and pick from all of these rooms. Maybe, for example, this superior room, which has maximum of 2 guests, I can go ahead and say, okay, I want 2 or 3 of those rooms. All right, that's the superior room, 3 of them. Then you can see 3 of them. I can go ahead and book this. All right, that's booked already. I can also go ahead and book maybe a basic room like that. Maybe I want to pick a basic room, just one. I can go ahead and book this. Okay, so you can see I can choose this option like that to be booking there randomly, or I mean individually rather, or I can just come here and click on this reserve. All right, that means it has already selected 5, a room that can occupy 5. That's 2 rooms for 5 occupants. So it depends on how you want to check out. Okay, so let's say I want to use this, and I can just click on confirm reservation. So you can see this is our checkout page. Now this is the checkout page we created, and you can see this is that checkout progress bar. Now you see something I was talking about, that returning customers click here to log in. All right, you can see there's an option for them to log in. Click here to log in. So now for the accommodation 1, I did 3 accommodations. How many guests will occupy accommodation 1? Maybe 1 guest. I'll select, then I'll select the guest name. So let's just say the guest name is John. Okay, just put that like that. Then I can choose, if I want to choose additional service for the accommodation 1, I can go ahead and choose that. Then accommodation 2, how many guests will occupy there? Let's say 2. Okay, then I'll give the full name of the guest. Maybe let me put it though. Then I can go ahead and choose that, okay, for this, do they want additional service? Let's say I want to do breakfast. Then for accommodation 3, okay, 1 guest. Then the full name, let me say the name is Philip. Then let's see, accommodation 4. Wow, I selected too many. Okay, so I just have to put their names there. Remember that all this accommodation represents each rooms. Okay, so let's say this one is Mary. All right, so now let's text our coupon code. So you can see this is the total, $2,175. So if I put in our coupon code now, let's see, that's first time 10. That was the coupon code. If I should apply, okay, sorry, this coupon code is not applicable to your booking content. Okay, so it is not applicable. I don't know. I think based on the option we selected, because I've used it earlier and it worked. Okay, but that's how everything will go. Now this is where I'm going to put in my own information now. So I can go ahead and put in my first name, then the last name, then my email. Okay, so let me just put in this email at gmail.com. Then my phone number, let me just put in some random numbers here for phone number. Now remember that country of residence was set to default as Nigeria because that was the option we selected. If I want to put a note, I can go ahead and put a note. Now you see this option to create an account. You can see it. If I want to create an account, I'll just check this option. Okay, so you can see what's happening here. I can create an account, or if I already have an account, I'll just click here to log in. Okay, so I'm doing this. If I click here to log in, I won't need to start filling this personal information like my name, my phone number, and the rest. So it all depends on you. So the payment method, how do I want to pay? Remember we selected 2 options, either direct bank transfer or pay on arrival. Okay, so let's say I want to do pay on arrival. Then I also need to check this option, I've read and accept the terms and conditions. If I don't check this option, you can see I won't be able to book. All right, so, and you can see this terms and condition page is clickable to take me to my terms and condition page. Okay, so I'll just check this and then I'll click on book now. All right, so you can see reservation received, and this is just a summary here showing my booking details, booking number, check-in date, checkout date, the total, and then the status is confirmed. Then the payment. Okay, so the payment is on hold because I selected pay on arrival. All right, so if I want to view the invoice, I'll just click here, view invoice, and remember there's a part that asks about invoice, that should it be in PDF. So you can see what the invoice looks like. The invoice was created automatically, showing you can see the details of date, the name of the hotels, the logo, the customer's details, and then the information about the booking. You can see booking 1, this is for the other, second one, this is for the third one. You can see how detailed it is. Okay, and everything, and you can see the total right here. All right, so now let me go ahead and check my email as the admin, and also check the email of the customer. Okay, that's this particular. Oh, I made a mistake in this email, so I'm not going to receive it. It's supposed to be AK Prosper Block 4. All right, there's a mistake, but either way, I'll just show you something similar with the test I did earlier to show you what the email looks like. So right here is the email for the admin. All right, so you can see this was the test I did earlier at first, and then you can look at the time. That's about 20 minutes ago, and this is one I just did just now. So if I should open it now, you see this is the email I'm going to receive as the hotel owner or as the administrator. You can see the booking number is confirmed by payment. I want to view the booking. I'll click here. Then this is the booking. Details of payments. All right, pay on arrival. Then details of the booking. So you can see all of the information right here. This is for accommodation 1, 2, 3, and then 4. All of the details about the booking, and then so you can see this footer here where we have the hotel name. All right, so you can see how, this to me is looking very simple. If you also want to customize it, you can do that from the email section. All right, if you want to customize it to make it maybe look a little more flashy, classy, or professional, okay. But if you want to maintain it simple like this, it is fine. It depends on you. Okay, so now let me show you the email that the customer will receive. Okay, so the person booking, what their email will look like. All right, so right here now is the email that the customer will receive. Okay, so this was the test I did earlier. All right, so you can see PA Hotels, your booking and then booking number is approved. So as you showed there, this will be the customer name. All right, your reservation is approved, and to show the details about it, you can see customer information and the likes. Now, if the customer should select the option to create an account, once they receive this email, immediately they'll also receive another email about creating an account. You can see, thank you for creating an account on PA Hotels. Your account details is this. You can see this is the login, this is the password, and this is where they are going to use to log in. All right, so now let me copy something, log in here. Let me copy this, and so let me copy this, copy link address. Let me also copy the password, and then let me also copy and then let me also copy the login, so that I can use it to log in and show you what it looks like to log in on the client side. All right, that's on the customer side. So let me go back to my incognito window. So let me do this. So the link I copied to log in, this is it right here. So guys, if you are finding value, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, so now you can see they can log in with their username or their email. So this is the username, then the password, then the login. All right, so you can see this is what the accounts of the customer or the user will look like. You can see this is the dashboard. So once you click on dashboard, this is what dashboard looks like. Then the bookings. So you can see it will show a list of bookings that they might have done currently or in the past. Everything will be here. If you want to view this now, they can just go ahead and view it. So you can see it right here. All right. And then their account section, if you want to update, you can see their name, address, password, and everything. Okay, so this is the account for the customer. Now this is how it looks like, and they can decide to log out. Okay, so with that, now let me now go back to the back end of the website. Okay, as the owner now, as the admin, let me refresh so that all the recent booking will show up. So you can see it right here. These are some of the bookings that have been done. So once you come to booking, all bookings, even payment history, every other thing will start to make sense. Okay, you can see it here, payment on arrival and the likes. Okay, so let me see under coupon. Remember, I've used the coupon earlier. You can see that is showing me that I've used it 1 out of 20 uses. Okay, remember that was what we said earlier. All right, so let me come back to, let's just, now there's something I want to also talk about before I round up on this tutorial. Now, while I was creating menu, you need to, let me come back there. You need to create your own menu, because this particular menu that was, I only used the menu that was there before to explain how to create a menu. So don't do the mistake of leaving the menu the way it is and their logo, because this is linking back to the theme maker's website. All right, this is what I'm talking about. So if I should come to the back end of the website and I come over to appearance and I come over to menu. So if I'm on the menu side, so I'll just come and select the main menu left. Okay, then I select that so that we can correct the home page here. So this home here was created using custom link. All right, and the custom link is linking to this particular link, not our own page. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and remove this. So I'll come here and look for home. So this is our home page here. Then I'll click on add to menu. All right, so you can see it here. This is our home page, and I can go ahead and save. Okay, so that is it for it. Now, these other ones also, you need to confirm. Just confirm that all the pages, once you create yours, you won't have that issue. Just make sure that the links are linking to within your pages. All right. So another thing again is if I should come to header. So I'm going to open up all of this header. So I just click on edit with Elementor, edit with Elementor, and then edit with Elementor. So you do it for all the three of them. So let it open up. So when they open up, once you put in the image here, all right, now you see this part where it is saying link, all right, to custom URL, update it to make sure you link it to your own page. So you look for home, all right, so home, all right, so that it can link to your own page. So you do the same thing for the two other types. This is for header sticky, so you click on it. Under this custom URL also, you change it to home, or you just put it a link to your own page. You do the same thing for header also. Also for that of the footer, so you can see here this image here, which we have the logo. Let it also link to your own page. So if I should click here, I click on custom URL, and then I'll just type home. Or you can just put in the link then to show it here, then to just take it. Then don't forget to also publish. All right. So make sure you confirm that all the links are linking properly. All right. Ensure that all the links to all the pages are linking properly, especially if you want to maintain this design and layout. All right. For example, this about us page is not linking to the about us page that we have on the website itself. So just go ahead and update all the links. So this is about. All right, so this is for about us page. You select it, and then you do the same thing for this experience. You might not use experience, you might use something else. Okay, you can use something else that will link to any page within it. All right, so and just go ahead and publish. So with that, guys, I've come to an end for this tutorial. I hope you really find a lot of value in it. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget, I'm going to leave a link to the hosting I mentioned. Don't forget to use the link akprosperblog.com/hosting. You're going to get a free domain name and up to as high as 75% discount on your hosting plan that you are purchasing. And also the theme, just go to akprosperblog.com/Hotelia so that you can also take advantage of the offer on the theme also. And every other important links, I'll leave them in the description of this video, including a timestamp, so that if there's any part of this video that you want to go and watch, you can easily locate it easily instead of watching the entire video all over again. So guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have any question, any thoughts, or any comment with this video, just let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any video requests, just let me know what kind of video do you want me to create next. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, guys. My name is Prosper, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now.